Hey, hi, welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Master Random the podcast. This episode is brought to you by Adieu Mortuary. They are a small family-owned and operated mortuary that has been serving the local community on this island for over 45 years, providing top-of-the-line funeral and cremation services during a time when it's absolutely needed the most. Let's face it, we're all going to reach that inevitable death. And you want those services to be the most beautiful as possible and handled in the most gracious way. Well, Adieu Mortuary has been doing that for the last over 45 years. So for more information on services and plans, contact 477-1311 or visit the mortuary at South Route 4 in Sinohanya. As you're passing the gas stations, headed down south on Route 4. It'll be on your left-hand side right before you reach Ordit. This episode is also brought to you by Stroll Guam. Go and download the Stroll Guam app today. And when you do, you'll be downloading the most affordable, convenient, and safest way to get around the island. And as an added benefit to being a Master Random podcast listener, you get $10 off your next ride by using the code RANDOM19 RANDOM19, and you get $10 off your next ride. They have a delivery service which includes food and document delivery, or you can make money on your own time and make $100 weekly. Yeah, whatever you like. Go visit strollguam.com now. My next guest on the show, yes, and we're here. Blake Watson. He's a radio DJ, and he's one of my friends who have made friends on the podcast. I've made some relationships with people through the podcast, and Blake is definitely one of them. Every time he comes on, it's just a progression. So it's funny. He's trying to beat Freddie Four Pieces a guest appearance on the podcast, and he's on his way. And so this one was fun. We got a little deep in some parts, but we had some drinks and it was just ultimate fun. I had a great time. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. It gets wild straight from the start. So enjoy this conversation. Wait, before I go on, don't forget to rate the podcast on iTunes if you're listening to it. Look at your phone, and if you're listening to it, rate the podcast. Leave a review, and when you leave a review, Matt will read it on the next episode after we see it. So it kind of goes hand in hand and keeping you guys wanting to leave more reviews and more ratings to get us up the charts, right? So without further ado, my friend Blake Watson on the podcast. Check it out.
Some of them, and not all of them, and the ones who I'm talking about, you know who you are.
We're started. Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's been almost a year. You've had many life changes. Not many, but a single life change. You've added a new addition to your family.
One son.
Yeah.
One more seed.
Damn, that's awesome.
It's crazy. And he's still in that like baby bendy stage, where they're kind of all bendy, and,
just
and
falling
kind
off,
of there. But
falling.
I mean, but he started sleeping through the night, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah, I was a colic baby.
Were you?
Yeah, my poor mom.
See, nowadays, I don't think that that's a thing. I think that they have medicine.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. My kids are colic, but
it's called downers.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like colic, what I should clarify. What I mean is like bottle shopping, which is something I would never think I would say. But when you're bottle shopping, there's like colic, resistant or colic free or nipples and bottles and parts of bottles. So I don't know.
What my understanding
we got old school bottles,
My understanding is this colic baby is a baby that just can't stop crying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. But isn't that?
There's a story that my
babies?
mom likes to tell. We were on a flight from Virginia to Germany, meeting my dad.
It's a long flight.
Yeah, and I cried. 12 of the 15 hours. And
so you were deemed colic.
Yeah.
You know what a colic horse is?
But I got to say that if it wasn't for me being colic, I probably wouldn't be a singer. You know, like be able to sing, right?
That's true. That's true.
Flexing those vocal muscles since I was a baby.
So to satisfy Matt's laughter over there, I grew up on a ranch, Matt, in Texas, and a colic horse. Did you hear my question?
No, I didn't.
Do you know what a colic horse is?
No.
It's a horse that like can't stop like coughing and like licking its lips, kind of like LL Cool J a little bit, like like that. And it coughs a lot, but horses are not supposed to cough. You know what I mean? Because they got to run, and they got to, so if a horse coughs, it's like a horse breaking his leg.
There's definitely something.
Yeah, like a cough to a human is not that big of a deal. Breaking your leg to a human usually isn't that big of a deal unless it's like something really bad.
Right.
But a simple break to the leg of a horse is like you got to shoot it. You know, you got to put it down.
You got to put it down. There was this.
But even a colic, like if a horse has a cough that it can't get rid of, then you also got to put it down.
When just
horse
thinking about,
right.
you know how people take like the Appalachian Trail from
Bonnaroo and all,
or is it Appalachian Trail?
Appalachian Trail's on the East Coast.
Which is the one on the West Coast? The Pacific Trail, Great Trail, or something like that, right? The one that goes from Arizona all the way up to Canada.
Yep.
Fuck.
I don't know. Pull that up, Matt.
Pacific.
Shout out to Carl Pangolinan, who's a big fan of me saying "pull that up." The Great. What is it? It's not the Rockies, because the Rockies are more in Colorado, but you're talking about more West Coast.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I was watching a documentary, and they had the horse had like tore muscle. And so that was like that's it for a horse.
That's it. That's it. No, not even that. Like sometimes back in the old days, like if there's if you're familiar with Ken Burns, if you like documentaries, you're like familiar. Ken Burns did he did the Civil War, did Vietnam, like he did a bunch of series. They're all on Netflix. But if you go back to the west of Ken Burns, he always talks about too how like some horses just die like with the snake bite, especially like in really rural terrain like the Southwest, where like rattlesnakes. I mean, like in Texas, the reason I fear snakes so much, and my grandmother was really deathly afraid of snakes. And some of the first memories I ever have, because I was so close to her, was her just freaking out at snakes, because she lived out in the country and there was always snakes around.
Yeah.
And the thing about those snakes, they're not like living here on Guam, where like the brown tree snakes, they're brown tree snakes, they're small. No. Like the snakes where I grew up, like if some of them, rattlesnakes, copperheads, like if they bite you,
diamondbacks,
you're dead. Yeah, I mean, especially like you live out where my grandparents live, it's like 50 miles from, any major city or
New Mexico,
hospital.
Texas.
Yeah, just between Dallas and Waco.
That's right.
Right near where Willie Nelson's from. Willie Nelson's from like Abbott. My family's from Avalon. They're like, I don't know, 50 miles apart or something.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking about before you got here? How our friendship has developed over this podcast.
Yes.
We're like podcast friendship kind of growth.
Yeah. If you see the whole, if you listen to all of our episodes in succession, you would probably walk through our whole friendship.
Right. And that's why I didn't get when we were walking up the stairs and you're like, yeah, you got to listen to this one first, and then this one. Yeah. I was like, no, because you won't hear the natural progression of like how we know know each other, right?
Yeah.
Not based off the things that we talked about.
That's what I was just ranking myself things because I lived them. I already know myself. But yeah, I mean, like, if you wanted to listen to episode whatever 101 or something, and then one, which is, by the way, I didn't even know like you said in the episode, the last audio episode ever
was yours.
Yeah, and then you went to Ari and Nick Rice,
right?
Video and audio. So
right.
And then I came on again 150, I think, by myself.
No, with Josie.
No, that was the third one. That was the last one.
Yeah, that was 150. That was the last time.
Oh, then there was this. Yeah, that was the last time I was on. There was the middle time I was on. There was something. Right after, it was January of 2018, right after the holidays, because we talked about me going to Thailand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, Thailand.
Yeah, but it's cool. Before we go off a tangent, I really wanted to just touch on that.
Do we go off on tangent?
Yeah, we can, but I mean,
we don't.
I don't want to go back into Thailand.
We're directed. You know what? That's the beauty of all these of this episode.
I know, but I want to touch on this before we move on. Is that it's just so amazing how over the time, like, I've been able to create these friendships only through the podcast. If it was through anything else, because I'm not really into a lot of things that a lot of people or other people are into.
Right.
I don't go to mixers. I don't go to events or conferences, or symposiums, and all these things where you can network and leave your business card and stuff like that. Me, it's like I work in an office in the daytime, and then
is it.
And then come home, and then I get to bring people over and then create stuff like this. And it's amazing. I just want people to understand like this is sort of the progression of maybe doing a podcast like this, because you can meet someone and you can tell right away when you talk to them like, oh shit, okay, we just may make this go a few hours.
Man, and it's happened.
Yeah, and it has. Yeah, it has happened. And we talked and the first time we talked, I think we talked for over 2 hours.
It was a 3 hours.
That was a 3 hours.
I think at the time it was the longest at the time, and then but the thing is that like it's even spilled into real life, where I'll run into you in real life, and man, there's been times where, to pull back the curtain a little bit, you've bailed me out of some pretty hairy situations, And
I had to. I really had to.
I mean, in real life. So So I mean, it's more. It's a really interesting dynamic. Man over here.
Yeah.
I like this dude too, and that's also come to fruition. Because I don't know.
Mine, his.
Is it? Huh?
Is it who's mine? Mine.
You, me, Chris Catan? Huh?
The cord on his is showing through mine. It's okay. There you go. How about that? Better. Yeah, so
but even MattyB,
right, and
I mean, because I don't know, I mean the episodes I've listened to, I don't know how many people invoke MattyB directly, just straight up talk to him.
I'm getting ready to give him his own T-shirt.
I know. Well, you need to pull this up, MattyB. I got it. I'll make you one, MattyB.
MattyB.
And I'll give it to you. And then you can just wear that one, but you're gonna have to wash it. Because I know y'all do a lot of podcasts. You have to wash it.
It'll be a one of one.
A one of one.
Yeah. Before we started here, we were talking about the whole Facebook, Instagram, and everything going down. WhatsApp, and Twitter was the only one up, and that's where we got to hear everybody freaking out, like, oh shit, it's down.
Man, and the thing is, even Facebook took to Twitter to say that it was down. And man, the thing is, it wasn't so much that it bothered me. It was just like, I don't know if you've lived in the States, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't so much that, like, because I hardly, maybe once a day I'll get on Facebook. Really, I mean, that's honest. I don't really get on Facebook that much, unless I just want to post something, or unless I just think about something, or unless I do like a double Instagram plus Facebook share or whatever.
Right.
But like, it's hardly ever do I ever just pop on Facebook and just scroll through feeds. Instagram too. Yeah. But the fact that I couldn't, I didn't like that. It's like wanting Chick-fil-A on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't really want a chicken sandwich today.
I didn't mind. I think the Facebook platform has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to what it used to be. And there's no real need to actually be on Facebook if you're not selling something.
That's true.
Or giving something to someone, or, sending prayers.
Or talking to family,
or connecting with people. But it's no further than that. And then Instagram, it's this like situation where you want to post the best and the greatest of what you're doing in your life, and then Twitter is kind of like a free-for-all.
Well, Twitter's everything.
Yeah,
we've always talked about that. How we talk about it where like you'll just be scrolling through and sometimes just be like somebody will retweet like porn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't follow that, like some crazy stuff will just come up. Not even if it's not that, it'll be some like polar bear with a polar bear face in its mouth or something. Picture
half the shit I like on Twitter, I'm not even following. It's just people retweeting and tweeting and commenting. And
I follow this one guy. MattyB, I follow this one guy. He's this Russian fisherman, and he posts he like fishes in like the Black Sea, like up in the north, whatever the North Pole Sea. What is that sea?
The Arctic Circle?
Is that the Arctic?
Yeah.
Well, what's south then? That's also the Arctic.
That's the Antarctic Circle.
The anti-Arctic Circle?
Yeah, then Antarctic, right? So
Antarctic.
So the Antarctic Ocean.
But with the north.
It's the Arctic Circle.
And the Black Sea. Well, the Black Sea is
the Black Sea is like north.
Black Sea is like north of Russia. Like, Black Sea's were like, because like they pull, like if you watch that documentary Blackfish, Tilikum, that big.
I've never seen
that big killer. You never, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You never saw Blackfish? You should watch Blackfish. It's about this. It's about this killer whale named Tilikum.
Okay.
and he killed like 3 different trainers in his life.
Oh, it's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Okay, I think I've heard
on
of it.
Netflix.
Right,
It's on
right.
Netflix now.
Okay.
It was originally a CNN documentary.
Where's the Black Sea or the Black Sea? So is Blackfish based off?
No. Blackfish is where the subject of Black Sea is where the subject of Blackfish Tilikum, the whale Tilikum, came from.
Okay.
MattyB. Oh, we don't have a monitor. Do you can you pull up the
What do you want to pull up?
Black Sea?
Black Sea.
Where's the Black Sea?
Looking for it on the map.
Yeah, just Google where's the Black Sea
Yeah.
located.
Anyway, so up, I forget what we were talking about, but yeah, so that's where,
Telecom, the Blackfish.
yeah, so that's where he came from, and so it's very it's a very volatile area of Russia.
What was the point? Do you remember?
No, you said it was Tilikum. That's where he came from.
No, I told you I never watched it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, and my whole point. My whole point was he came from the Black Sea.
But why did you bring up the documentary?
I don't remember. Why did we bring up the documentary? We were talking about Blackfish for a reason.
Yeah, we were talking about Facebook and Instagram. Did we move on from that?
Yeah.
Get it. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
But anyway, if you haven't seen that, it's really crazy. But this killer whale Tilikum, we could just go on Blackfish.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure.
Blackfish is because it's like he killed the last trainer I think that was killed was this chick in San Diego. Her name was Dawn something.
Okay.
And but there's also like in this whole documentary, there's like this, man, it's really crazy because I don't know about you, but the ocean itself and like killer whales and really especially like cold oceans just really scare me.
Okay.
You know? And anyway, back to what we were saying. It was something about the Arctic Sea. But going back to Blackfish, it's it's really scary because like at one point, like one of those killer whales, like they take this guy all the way down and like they're just messing with him because they're super smart.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
That was the whole big deal with San Diego and SeaWorld.
Well, SeaWorld in
It's like,
general.
I mean, yeah, you're just entrapping. It's like a zoo. Honestly, when I go to zoos, it doesn't make me feel good when I go to zoos. Like I actually hate going to zoos. I think zoos is more for kids. Did you see that lady recently that got mauled by a jaguar because she crossed over the barrier? Yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. You know what I mean? I mean, it's I'm on team people, but like, don't mess with them. You know, I mean, like, and don't try to take some cute selfie thinking that and the thing is because I don't think, and not that I'm trying to be some expert, not that I know, but I don't think humans.
You're an expert in life.
I don't think most people have a good assessment on how strong a predator like a tiger or a lion or a jaguar,
or dude, even a chimpanzee.
Actually is, because you've been to Thailand, I've been to Thailand. I don't know if you went to a tiger temple, but I can tell you this.
No,
I went out to.
Don't they shoot those animals up?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can tell you some. Well, we'll get into that. But
I mean, that's how they make them docile. This is what I've heard. Is that to get in the close proximity of those kind of in front of predators, in close proximity to predators, they have to dose them up with some sort of downer. Right. Yeah.
Well, hang on to that, because what I'm going to say is, so on the way to this tiger temple, we stopped at the Bridge Kauai, which I think that's like it was like a famous battle maybe, or like there's a movie, a bridge over the river Kauai or whatever. So the river Kauai, we were at that bridge, right? And there was a leopard cub, in a cage, like in like a cat kennel, you know? And for like whatever, 10 baht, you could feed it. And so the cage sat on top of like this really thick, like wooden plank, like coming almost like almost like this table, you know what I mean? And so but it was lower, you know, so you sat on the edge and the cage was over here,
right?
You know, and so you sat there and there was like a big hook right in the middle of the table. And when the handler, once you paid your money, the handler would give you the bottle, and that little leopard cub knew exactly why it was getting out to eat. And so, like, you would have to like the handler would even have to like kind of
Blake, it was probably already hungry.
Right. Yeah, because it's been sitting there till somebody gave in and gave it 10 baht to feed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But my whole point is that like, so like, as soon as like it gives it to you, like, he hooks it on this little hook, so it does have a leash, so you can't get away.
Right.
But like the thing crawls all over you, and it like a baby, like you hold it like a baby,
like a little puppy.
Yeah, and it grabs your hands, and when it grabs your hands, you realize like like the power that this thing has, and it weighs 40 pounds. It's not like holding even a pit bull or even like a dog. I mean, it's and to think of like a grown one of those,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think people realize the power. And so when people go to zoos, there's like, oh, ha ha ha. No, that's a killer that is in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like the silverback.
Yeah.
What was his name? God dang it, man.
Harambee.
Harambee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that. You know how he was just
Well, I'm here, MattyB.
throwing the kid around.
Yeah.
Right? And whose fault is that? It was
Man,
the kid's fault.
look
but
this-
it's like it's tough, dude. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole Harambee talk and what social media did to it, but you're imprisoning animals. And I used to be into zoos when I was a kid, but when I went to a couple zoos as an adult, and every time I went there, I was just like, this is pretty sad.
Yeah.
They're in there. They're like in a fake environment. I'd rather pay a few $1,000s to go over to Africa,
Like a photo safari.
Yeah, and go on a safari, like do the whole dressing up and stuff like that.
The little hat.
The little
like
hat,
the Jungle Book.
the fucking short, the khaki shorts and the khaki fucking polo with the buttons.
Looking like Ernest Hemingway, back in the day.
With the pipe and the cigarette.
handlebar mustache.
I can't grow a mustache. I'll look like an Asian mustache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at my hair. I was telling my hairdresser yesterday. Shout out to Cam.
Hey, Cam.
I was like, can you just cut it a little longer? I already look Filipino. I just don't want the Filipino haircut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got the Filipino genes. There's no reason to make me look more Filipino than I have a more street cred to uphold.
You got to keep that. They'll be like Jussie Smollett. Turn that in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God. Go into the precinct with a sling stone around your neck, something like that. No, can't do that.
Right.
Jussie Smollett messed up.
Yeah.
Bad.
Right.
And you know why that hurts me? You know why that hurts me, MattyB? You know why that hurts me? Because he was an original Mighty Duck.
Was he? Who was he?
He was Terry. He was Jesse Hall's brother, Terry. In the original Mighty Ducks.
Pull up Terry. I want to see what Terry looks like. I can't even.
You should pull up the scene.
Did you see the picture? There was a picture on Twitter of all the Mighty
Is this
Ducks.
monitor working? Can we pull up movie scenes?
No, we can't, because then we can't put it on YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll get pulled, MattyB.
Yeah, I already got pulled for something.
Me?
No, not you.
Oh,
not
good,
ours.
good,
Not ours. It was something recently.
Oh.
Yeah. So
You don't want to be an Alex Jones. But
it's
pull up Terry Hall, Mighty Ducks.
Terry Hall,
That's his
Mighty
name, Terry Ducks.
yeah, let's see it. What's wrong with this TV, dude?
Nothing.
Do you have the remote? Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, so we can pull this is the monitor. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
we just can't pull up movie scenes. I got you. Okay.
Oh yeah. He was the kid.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, because remember, Jesse was my favorite. Now, his brother, the one who made it
This
to
is his
D2.
brother right here.
Yeah, Jesse. Jesse was my favorite Mighty Duck, but Terry never made it past the first movie.
Okay.
But that's Jussie Smollett. So Terry Hall was Jussie Smollett. It was the same guy. Yeah, that's what hurts my heart. He was an original Mighty
I mean,
Duck.
it's just amazing how he did it because he wasn't getting paid enough. And it's like,
Is that what it was? Is that what they finally?
I think that's like the speculation. I believe. I don't really try to keep up too much with it, but it's a crazy time in America, dude. No, it's like you want to be there, but there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Just way too much going on. It's hard to keep track, and then the presidential elections are coming up, and there's like 19
Who's running?
that are running.
Beto's running.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Beto announced today. That's Texas.
just today.
Yeah, Beto announced. What's her Kamala?
Oh, Beto is that guy with that inspirational. He had like an inspirational video go viral when
He's
he
that
was
Texas.
reasoning with someone who opposed him, right?
He just lost. I think the Texas. He just lost a race in Texas, and now he's running for president. So I don't know. We'll see. But there's him, Kamala Harris.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't really try to pay attention
of course, yeah.
too much to what's going on over there because dude, it's literally something every day,
every hour,
dude. Every hour it's
hard
like,
to keep
damn, dude. How do you even keep up with all the information that's like being fucking thrown in your face? I mean, I guess
is it just
get off social media?
Yeah, you're right.
Or the internet,
which we had to today.
We got a taste of what it's gonna be like.
Yeah,
if Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram all go down at the same time.
Man, people freaked out. You know, the thing was, like I said, it really wasn't that big of a deal to me. It was more just like, and even then, like, oh, I didn't see the picture of my kids. Oh, I'll see him in an hour. You know, so I ended up seeing them anyway. So I mean, it was just one of those things where like and everybody was right. Like, oh, it's all going down. We're all going to freak out. And like, yeah, you're right. You know, like because it didn't really affect me at all.
But like you asked.
But some people did.
Dude, I think was that before this? What I think?
Yeah. What would you think? Yeah, that's how we started it all.
Of course they would. Of course they would fix it. They would try to fix it. But like I said, also it's probably just a test. Or
it was an attack that they got to fix.
They're gauging.
You think so?
They're gauging what the temperature of the world of what of how people are gonna react when shit like that goes down.
Okay, let me ask you this. Can I ask you this? MattyB?
We're within like seconds of things literally happening. Like I saw a minute.
Corona?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
so
I saw literally
seconds of what?
1 minute after Instagram announced that they are back up online. Like 1 minute after, and I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Like we have that capability here, as isolated as this place is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was isolated not more than 50 years ago. Like completely isolated. Like the only news that we got here was the news that was made here, and whatever telegrams that the military was bringing over and lettered mail and stuff like that.
You're a 90s kid.
I am
just
kid.
like I am.
Yeah.
So let me talk to you about this, just to break it down on a simpler, more relatable level, just in simplicity, what mattered to us back then and how it affected you here and how it didn't affect me where I lived. How did you digest your WWF Monday Night Raw? A week late? When Raw was going good, you know what I mean? Like because I've always heard, it was a week. It was taped from California, right? And then sent over or whatever.
Right. It was a week late, but
you were caught up on the internet, or
no, dude. We barely even had.
And it was.
I had maybe like 56K. There was something right.
And it was pay by the K, right? It was like pay by like the kilobyte.
I didn't pay the bills.
I think my mom
just a
did,
little kid
as a single mom.
Like I was a little kid. Like, whoa, what is this? I'm going into I can be anybody. What is this website? Playing games online. Now I'm communicating with people. You start saying ASL in chat rooms, right?
Age, sex, loc. Pick Y/N ? And if you do, DICK. Or nah. That's how it was.
Yeah.
So, I was molested via AIM. Yeah, I was molested via AIM because we've gone over this because my initials are BBW. Okay, everybody's laughing.
Big white woman.
You know what? I swore to Boo that I was not going to bring up porn. But we're all laughing because I said I was molested via AIM because my initials are BBW, and you all laughed. Both of you did. Anyway, so you can imagine the shit I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
tons of deep pics all over.
We did get our shows a week late, but we didn't even notice. Does that make any sense?
No, yeah, because
it said live, but we knew it wasn't live. But it would show. It would show at the time that it's supposed to show in California.
Okay, so yeah.
So we were literally on California.
Man, when I hear glass
television schedule, television schedule.
Oh man, yeah. When I hear glass break, I still think of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. I heard there was a DJ on a radio station that was playing all the WWE
That Chris Berg. That would be Chris Berg on
Right.
105 The Cat.
Yeah.
He plays. He play. I think his theme is "Sexy Boy," Shawn Michaels. Which, by the way, I met Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Yeah, he's an
Shawn-
asshole.
Shawn Michaels was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Don't meet your idols. But no, yeah, he was. He barely came out of his. I got backstage at a WWF Raw show in November 3rd, 1999.
Okay.
And the reason I got backstage, and the reason I had such access is because I went to the Arts Magnet
Right.
in Dallas. I think we talked about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so when I was a freshman, one of my best friends was a senior, and his name was Cody Gerwig. And his dad was named Herbert Gerwig, who was Killer Carl Cox, which is very controversial because he spelled it all with K's. But he wasn't a racist or anything like that. He just spelled it all with K's. So his
so
name,
happened
yeah.
to
So
be.
on the back of his jacket, he just had to say KKK, but it wasn't. He didn't wear a hood or anything like that. I mean, but I get it anyway. Killer Carl Cox. He's pretty well known. He even went on to in the '80s being he refereed, I think, some of like the Hulk Hogan matches and Andre
Okay.
Johnson. Anyway, so because he was a legend, and this was my best friend's dad. When we went to when Raw came through Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, we got to go downstairs and go meet all the guys. And this is, like I said, this is November 1998.
How old are you?
I'm a freshman in high school.
Okay,
My
oh, yeah,
first
that's-
semester.
that's
Yeah,
right, that's
my first semester. So I'm 14. And so if you go by, if you can remember back to high school and you think your semester, your school starts in August, this is the November of my freshman year, 1998. And so, you know what's big? Nation of Domination. Rock, Farouk, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin was feuding with DX, which consisted not even of Badass Billy Gunn or Road Dogg, but even then it was smaller. It was China and
Kevin Nash?
No, Kevin Nash was in WCW, bro. This is that's a whole different world.
Right.
And Shawn Michaels was with Triple H.
Yeah, but Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon,
They were in
Joined-
WCW. They were in Nitro.
but they did join the DX eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Like
In the 2000s.
in the
early
2000s. Yeah. But
Right.
this is like 98.
Okay.
So anyway, so I got to meet like all those guys. And so Rock was cool. Stone Cold Steve Austin was cool. Val Venus. Hello.
Val Venus.
Ladies.
This is the second time we talked about WWF, right?
Really?
Yeah. It was
We
with
can go
Oni.
deep. We can
It
go
was
deep.
Oni.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a lot about WWF.
Yeah, dude,
I mean,
bro.
I'm a fan, man.
Bro, one of my
I
friends.
subscribe. Well, I shout out to Phil Leon Guerrero.
Uh-huh.
Who gives me his password, and he knows you. He gave it to me, so because of him, I get to rewatch my favorite Shotgun Saturday Night that used to run on MTV back in the day, right before Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh man, dude, you're bringing up some classics there.
Yeah,
Celebrity Deathmatch.
they're reviving that. By the way, you know who's reviving that?
Who?
Ice Cube
Really?
in claymation form, I believe.
Man, he really does good work.
He really does. O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah, he really, really, really does. Yeah, WWF. This is the second time, and it's pretty cool because I grew up off of it. I had the first time I ever went to someone else's house as a kid because my mom didn't really trust anybody. Me going to anybody's house. It was back in the day.
I got you.
Yeah. So the first time I ever went to somebody's house, my friend, he had this huge ass tub of WWF figurines with the ring.
Coveted. Oh,
Bro.
we could launch them,
Bro, off the turnbuckles.
bro.
Everything. Royal Rumble. Dude, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was
Did you
like,
have that NES,
I was
that
like,
generic wrestling game?
You have all of this?
The pail. You get the stainless steel pail
No.
that Bam Bam Bigelow used to pick up, and hit people with.
Damn. Man, this is all before your time, bro.
And Luna Vachon.
For sure. This is before Matt's time.
Oh, you remember? Can I? I think the statute of limitations is up, so I think I can confess to this crime. All right. Let me tell you what I did about 2 weeks before that.
No, bro. The Catholic Church is getting fucking getting romped right now.
No, bro. No. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We're just making sure here.
No.
You say statute of limitations. I'm just like,
Statute of limitations are up on
and
this.
even the
No.
church, couldn't get
About a
past
month. No, about a. about a month before the show.
Shit happened in the 70s.
Dude, oh God, see this.
So careful, tread lightly, tread lightly.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
listen, I'm not gonna. There's nothing I gotta say that has anything remotely with that. But I will say this though. Did you? Jesus, I was gonna talk about shoplifting. I was gonna talk about shoplifting a Playboy, or you want to take it to Catholic priests?
Yeah, no.
But here's the deal.
Well, when you say statute of limits,
No, watch this.
limitations,
Watch
right,
this. Watch this. I'm like, look, watch this.
it's the automatic thought.
Did you hear about
Anyways,
this? Did you hear about
go ahead.
this?
I'll stop.
No. I can switch gears with you. I can flow with you. I can cha-cha with you. Did you hear about the Catholic priest that was found with one single bullet hole to the back of the neck? Also, he was accused of molesting a lot of boys.
Really?
Yeah. Las Vegas, Nevada police reporting that there was a homicide because this Catholic bastard was accused and convicted of molesting boys, but he was also shot in the back of the head. So,
How about the
sorry,
the church in the convent, or is it a convent? I think it's a church in Rome, not in Rome, but somewhere in Italy or France. I think it's France.
They're the same.
They were
Rome and Italy, France are the same.
no, but France is they're more.
They're like different.
Yeah, but
No, I'm just kidding. They're different.
so they were caught having the nuns as sex slaves.
What?
Yeah, the priests.
What?
Yeah, never
What?
heard that?
No.
You didn't hear about it, Matt?
Matt,
Do us a favor.
pull this up. What happened to our monitor, Matt? Our monitor, Matt. You're keeping us unlit.
Yeah, man.
We're backlit.
You know, I mean, it may be frowned upon to talk about this right now, but you know, coming from Guam here, but it's world news.
Yeah. And
Right?
not only that,
And
it's
it's
factual.
just
It's factual, right?
It's just crazy how it's gone that far. Like priests using nuns as sex slaves. At least it wasn't touching boys. That's all I gotta say about that.
But did you? And I gotta say, man.
Sorry,
You know what?
Matt.
I'm
Let me get out of your way.
Thanks
There
for
you
handing me the shovel. I'm gonna dig deeper.
go. Okay.
Did you see what the Brooklyn Catholic Diocese did?
No.
They demanded an apology from Pete Davidson for making fun of them.
Oh
on SNL.
yeah, I saw
Which
that.
look,
I saw something about it.
regardless of what he said, look, maybe if somebody's making fun of you, you should just keep your mouth shut because it's not untrue.
Yeah,
You know,
it's very true.
that's all I'm saying.
It's not untrue. That's very true.
It's not untrue. Like,
Any of them, Nate. Matt. The hell did I just call you?
Nate. Called him Nate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah, abuse of nuns by priests, bishops included sexual slavery. So there was just go down. This is global news.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how accurate they are in their news reporting, but
Should we
this
do
is
something more?
this is kind of like a worldwide news story.
Sexual slavery.
So
Hey, did you see that?
over in France?
Did you see that Trump knew the owner of the spa that Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, has popped at down in Florida?
Did he?
Yeah, there's a picture of them together at a Super Bowl party.
Man,
Some Chinese lady, I think.
the internet is fucking crazy.
It's
dude.
insane.
It's insane.
It's
It's
insane.
literally insane. You can't get away from anything.
To be honest, you know how insane it is? It's so insane that when it goes down, people lose their minds. I can't. What?
Yeah.
I can't even comment?
Yeah.
I can't even comment on Facebook?
What am I supposed to do today? What the fuck's going on?
What the fuck? Dude, how many social media managers question their lives today being like, well, shit,
yeah,
this doesn't even exist anymore. What am I doing?
I saw a meme that said all the Instagram models are freaking out trying to figure out what they're gonna do with their lives next.
Not to bring up porn again, but remember there was one chick where she got there's one porn girl where they crashed her account and they basically made Instagram shut it down. Like they convinced Instagram to shut it down. However, I don't remember.
Yeah.
MattyB could pull it up. I forget, but she went she posted a video like, I can't believe y'all shut down my Instagram so I make money. Like she was so upset that she was banned from Instagram, which I mean, I guess if it makes you $1 million a year, I get it, but it shouldn't make you $1 million a year.
But it
because
does. That's the thing. It does.
I know, and that's so insane. But the thing is, it could anybody. It's not because, man, There's people way prettier, way uglier, way weirder, I mean, whatever. It's just you got to find the thing, and the thing is that it could be anything.
Yeah.
It sounded, hey man. The thing is, man.
It could be.
The thing is not that thing or this thing, but it's anything, man. Anyway. So, piggybacking back basically on what we're on with the Catholic Church. Yeah, it's terrible that they demand an apology, and it's terrible that the sexual abuse, like with this nuns that you're saying.
Yeah, it's just nothing new. Are we surprised that it happened here?
You know what the thing is?
No, not really.
No, here's the thing. Like, I really, and maybe you've had, I'm sure, I mean, you've had people on way smarter than me.
And way smarter than me.
Ancestral people, people who like study, like not even just like local, but like just in general, you know what I mean? Paleontology and all, all kinds of stuff. And the thing is like Rosie O'Donnell came out today or this week or whatever and said, I mean, she was sexually abused by her father. If you this week,
there's a lot of shit that came out today.
But what I'm saying is,
you're really up to date.
It's not even that. Yeah,
you fucking really are.
I'm always up to date. And then like if you look at like Finding Neverland, like in the last.
Oh my God, have you?
Or Leaving Neverland? But hang on, we're gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, but what I'm saying is like, and again, don't get me wrong, we're setting that aside. But I got an hour on that,
dude.
Please, and we're doing it, MattyB. You don't cut me off, please, MattyB. I'm looking at you. Love you, MattyB. So no, but like, so what I'm saying is like, I've been delving in a lot into Michael Jackson interviews like the past 2 weeks, just for whatever reason, because I've been at home.
Like his just radio interviews.
No, YouTube interviews. Oprah. It's 3 specific ones. Oprah and the Martin Bashir interview in 2003, which are strategically, and we'll get to it, 10 years apart, but whatever.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that like he also he also accused his father of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and there's a lot of like, we're not that far removed. I mean, you and I are 4 humans away from the Civil War, from slavery, from Spanish conquistadors living here on this island. You know what I mean? I mean, like, that's not that many people in the span of the world. It's not that many people.
Right.
And the DNA, to me, like we're the same physical human beings as people in the 1200s. It's just that we've excelled so rapidly mentally and with technology, that it's almost hard for our DNA makeup and genetics just to keep up, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like some of us still have you know what I mean? Like some of us still have the DNA of, whatever it is that comes out. And I think that like a lot of it has to do with, because like, I think that not that the world is a better place, but I feel that with the way the world is going, it seems to be like people are protecting children more and not molesting their own children more as they had to, as they were in the past, just because of whatever savage DNA or, you know what I mean, or whatever. Because the fact is, 200 years ago, to us as human beings,
40 years ago.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Isn't that far away? But in the world, it's even less. You know what I mean? It's not even a sneeze. It's barely a blink.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like it just seems that like that's kind of the, like the whole, like the hope, I guess going forward is that it's just, I don't know. It's, like with this, like with all these, Catholic, sexual abuse cases and like these Michael Jacksons and all this, like I feel like, and even maybe the hashtag Me Too movement, like it outs people for, I think and the R. Kelly meltdown.
I think you hit something. I think you hit something on, you hit a point, was that people are more protective now of the vulnerable, right?
Right,
people,
but sometimes
people who are vulnerable.
But sometimes that could go sour though.
But it's like a double standard too, right?
Sometimes that could go sour.
Like, I will protect this kid, but let's get rid of this baby. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I know exactly what you mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
it's kind of funky. The world is kind of interesting in that respect, in the fact that there's so many opinions and there's so many ways that you can choose one, and no matter which one you choose, you'll always find an opposition to something that you choose. Always someone or something telling you that your choice is questionable, right? Reason to question your choice, reason to be like, maybe I shouldn't go along with this.
Right.
And how many people here on Guam were raised Catholic, very hardcore traditional values, and then all of a sudden the news and social media brings up these cases of child abuse from the church, from priests who used to live here, from the archbishop, whoever it may be, right? So that being said, fuck, where was I going with this?
Where you're going?
Where was I? Oh, yeah. It's that we're more protective now, and so in the future you won't hear stories like this. So everything
Right.
is sort of kind of leveling out now,
Right.
because there was sort of this hidden. Everything was more secretive back then. You can hide things. Now you can barely even hide shit. You can't even do something without someone recording you.
Right, and you're exactly right, because everybody has a device in their pocket. And I don't want to harp on this point because I want to make another point, but you're exactly right in what you're saying. And I've said this for a little bit, but the thing is like, I think, before I get to my point, is I think it stems from the fact there was a generation, no matter whether they came back to Guam, no matter whether they were in the States, no matter whether they were in Europe, there was a certain generation in the 40s of the world that, like, you went over there, you did your duty and you fought, and you didn't really talk about it, and you brought that home. You know what I mean? And you drank it away, or you worked it away, or you cheated it away with your wife, or you gambled it away, or you beat your family, or whatever it is you did to suppress that PTSD, because back then there wasn't anything for it.
There wasn't no such thing as
right.
Yeah.
And then you move that, up ahead, and those people raised the people that raised us, and there's anything wrong with it. But of course, they moved on, they advanced, and it comes to the exact same point that I was going to make in general, which was marijuana. And that's like, there is no stigma with a majority of people about weed or CBD. Because, I mean, I'll tell you what, if you go tell my 80-year-old grandfather that he's taking, that you're taking CBD, and you tell him what it is, he's going to freak out. Oh, that's dope. It's like, but it's, the difference. We all know the difference. But it's just, he doesn't hear that. He doesn't hear the logic, and that's what I think as far as like moving forward.
Well, because they come from a different time, right?
And it's a different stigma. And if you've ever seen Reefer Madness,
Yes,
if you've ever known, and if you've ever looked into,
That's the worst shit ever. It is pretty entertaining.
If you've ever looked into William Randolph Hearst and the decorticator and the fact of why he made hemp and why the fuck he made marijuana,
because he owned a paper mill.
Because he owned the paper mill, and he made it. Marijuana wasn't. It was a Mexican slang term. It wasn't even the fact. That's what he even call it. And so like, he hemp and marijuana hemp. Henry Ford made his first doors. The first doors of his very first prototype Ford were made out of hemp. And there's video on YouTube. I know you can't pull it up, but it's of him hitting a sledgehammer into the side of hemp doors and like a 1909 Model T, or whatever. And, it's just crazy that it takes generations. I guess coming back to my point, and sadly and unfortunately, and please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but it just takes a lot of people, unfortunately, have to die and go because they're not retiring. I mean, that's why you got, you got people 80, 70 years old still hanging on their Congress seats and all this.
Right.
And all those people got to go before the mentality changes.
Yeah.
Because there is a stigma, because
That's an interesting thought, though.
But what I'm saying is because, our own attorney, I know he got rid of Jeff Sessions, but Jeff Sessions said no good person smokes marijuana. And that's just not true. Like, if you are really standing up there as the Attorney General of the United States and you're saying that in 2018,
Right.
At what point do the people get to say, hey, is he out of touch or not? If he's not, cool, but like, is he out of touch or not?
Yeah. Did you see the public hearing on the marijuana bill?
Here?
Yeah, the dude who tried.
Of course I did. Which one are you talking
The
about?
day he tried selling a couple bags on the.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh man, dude. It's different times on Guam. Guam is changing quickly, dude. It's changing quickly, and it's all due to everybody being aware of everything that's going on. If they're doing it, why can't we do it? If they have it, why can't we have it? And it makes that mentality much more stronger for people to believe that, you know, certain things can change. But that was kind of stepping over the line. That was stepping over the line.
Well, that was stepping over the line, but so was calling out Clint by Steve Zerzan on the conservative side.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
I mean, he straight up said as he was being ushered out, "Your eyes are red right now.
Yeah.
You're high. Are you high right now?" Which, come on, man. Think Clint's gonna head a committee? You know what I mean? Or any senator, you know, regardless, you know, Clint or anybody. I mean, like, to call out a public official like that, you know, just because you're not getting your way.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
And I mean, how do you get?
But what is the future on Guam? Maybe 3-4 years, maybe 3 years ago, I had Dr. Fred Schulman on the podcast, economics dude, and I asked him, I was like, marijuana on Guam. You know, what is your view on it? You know, do you think it's something that would help the economy, push the economy forward? He told me no, right? But and he's one of the top leading experts, economists, right? Economists here on Guam, right? So maybe I need to get him back on the show. Maybe we need to work on that.
Maybe
Work on getting back on the show to see
pull that up, Matty.
If
pull him up right now via Skype.
If his views have changed, right? So
I wonder.
I don't.
What about because there's a few advocates, right?
Oh, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's many advocates, and there's a lot of people who don't.
Some people have their license to grow already,
I believe
right?
that there's a lot of people that don't want to come out because we're still a traditional place. You know, Guam is still a very, 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 very much so traditional place.
Yeah.
Oh, and that brings me back to what I was saying. Remember, I was talking about the priests and everything that's happened. It's just changed the mindset because we're a traditional place and we all grew up Catholic. To see all this, like, how many people has the church like lost now, right? But anyways, I don't want to. Let's not touch back on that. I should have brought that up because I fucking forgot what I was talking about, why I was talking about that, and as I was talking about marijuana and how now people don't want to come out, it's because we still live in a very traditional place. Guam, the culture is still there, and there is a certain level of respect.
On videos, there's so many more levels as we off-air convo, but
and as long as the older generation's alive, that is something that we will have to respect, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, and in the States to the same degree, you know what I mean? I mean, like, you know, though it not be as cultural tied into the Catholic Church, you know, it is cultural tied into the state's, in my opinion,
beliefs, maybe?
Well, in my opinion, the state's main religion, which is politics. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, they all have their own religions, but the states, you know, the United States of America, their main religion is politics or sports or entertainment news. You know what I mean? Take your pick.
Just depends on what part of the country.
Or, you know, or the fat asses that just eat all the goddamn time. But hey, listen, they got Chipotle and Sonic over there, so I don't blame them. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, man. You know, like it's just one of those things where there's a whole generation, regardless of what it is, regardless whether they're tied into the Catholic Church, or regardless whether they're tied into old white Southern politics, Republican, you know, NRA stuff.
Yeah, and if you think about all that as a whole, those are all different cultures, right?
Yes,
cultures within society and subcultures within society that people are affected by. And before, maybe back then, people weren't so influenced by certain subcultures unless you actually physically put yourself into that place where that subculture is thriving. Now you can watch a few YouTube videos and all of a sudden you're subcultured, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is because I love Sister Act, right? And the other day, I'm not too ashamed to admit this, Matty.
I love Sister Act.
If you don't, there's something wrong.
I love it.
Gosh. And I watched both of them. You know what? If you put me on a deserted island, and you were like, all right, you got to have like, you can have like a trilogy, you know, a sequel, whatever, or like one movie or whatever. It's really close. Third place would be the
Coming in at a close third.
would be the Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
Second place would
Speaking
be
my language.
second place would be second place would be Back to the Future.
Yeah, I'm not really a big Back to the Future fan.
I am, and first place would be Sister Act.
That's a tough call.
Although here's the thing, I could switch Back to the Future with Mighty Ducks trilogy any day, but doesn't matter. Number one is Sister Act.
I was Disney Channel movie kid.
So, let me tell you something. Are you a Netflix subscriber?
I have been a Netflix subscriber since 2006.
Oh, so you got the DVDs.
I used to get the DVDs.
You hightail them.
And then I remember when they started streaming and they had all the movies you can think of. And then they're like,
except the ones you wanted.
And
like,
then they
like a Chick-fil-A sandwich on Sunday.
yeah. And then they started losing all kinds of fucking licenses. And then they went bankrupt. And then that would have been the best time to invest in Netflix because they went through a boom a year later, right? But
So,
anyway, dude, I want to sort of stay on this culture thing
okay.
because there's something going on here right now with culture, like big
talking
time.
about the Twitter,
The
Twitter artists, the Twitter artists, which neither of us were a part of, but the Twitter artist argument,
the Twitter battle.
yes,
It's not a battle between source and source. It's kind of like up in the air. People kind of reacting to it and stuff like that. The only thing I have to say about that is people are nervous that culture is changing here on Guam. Changing very much, but we have to understand is that because of technology, and like I said earlier, the subcultures, you had to literally physically put yourself into a subculture into a place to experience a subculture, whether it be the Latino subculture, the black subculture, the freaking bluegrass, whatever it may be. It can be even sports subculture.
mm-hmm.
But now that we have access to all this information, we can be a part of any subculture we want. And now Guam is really, really changing in the fact that now culture is different. We have indigenous culture, something that every single person needs to respect if you're here. But also on the other side of the token, we have culture that has evolved and is continuing to evolve and will continue to evolve.
Yeah.
As long as we keep doing new things, finding new subcultures to include ourselves in, the world is flat now. It's the flattest it's ever been in the history of the world, right?
Yeah. I mean, they made it flat.
They made it flat.
Yeah, it's not really, but they made it that way. The ice wall on each side.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Before I get misunderstood here, the world is not.
Are you telling me you're Kyrie Irving and you believe in a flat Earth? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I am not.
Pull this up, Matty. Pull up NASA's satellite.
No, I am not a flat earther.
You're a flat earther?
I'm not a flat earther.
You're a hollow earther.
I'm speaking of
I know what you mean.
globalization.
I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
But people listening can easily misinterpret that me being.
They can take
like,
you out of context.
the world is
And here's the
really
deal.
actually physically.
Don't take him out of context. He was not he was not meaning that. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you're exactly right because the thing is, and I'm going to try to stay on point, but the thing is that like I remember as a kid, I used to love Troy Aikman. So to reach Troy Aikman, I had to write him a handwritten letter to his fan club, and then like 18 years later, he maybe have sent me like a printed up letter with a fake autograph picture back.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like you are right. We are so connected these days to where it's, like time and everything isn't even, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't pass the same as it has ever.
Right.
So how can you I don't know how we assess that because like I said, going back to what I mean, meant as ancient people, we're the same DNA as people 300 years ago. Yet, we have phones and microphones and cameras, but like we're no different than people 200 years ago physically.
Yeah, your breath still stinks.
Yeah.
And you still fart.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And and you still get sick and you still break your leg and you have to die. You know what I mean? I mean, like, all that happens.
Yeah. I mean, they have stuff also to prevent prolong the inevitable death.
Now.
Right? And it's just crazy because now the world has become more populated. And in the beginning of the last century, you had 2 world wars, like 2 huge wars that killed millions of people. Right? And I don't think we would see the likes of that as long as social media lives. Yeah.
No, because
they would literally have to shut down social media to have like a war.
They did today.
They did.
MattyB, they did today.
Conspiracy.com.
They shut down social media
They
today.
did, bro.
Oh, shit.
They did. And because the world, not only the physical world would be an uproar and people really documenting their experiences, and there are wars going on here in the world and people are dying. Let's not get that wrong, right?
Right.
People are dying every day, literally.
One came home. They had a funeral today.
But there aren't like 100 million dying in like a couple years, right? So
Could you imagine that though? I mean, and that's the thing. Like getting back to we were.
But
saying,
I think people are less affected back then by the magnitude.
That's what I
of
mean.
the amount of people that are dying. We even look at it in. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
We even look at it in textbooks, and we're 100 million people died during World War II.
By the way, fun fact about Boo, his lady and his sister shared the same textbook in high school. You were saying?
I don't even know what that means.
They did. I don't know. I got that from a podcast that I was listening to earlier about you. You were like,
Did they?
Yeah, because you said they were still using the 2000 edition because they're that outdated.
Because her name is
Because her name is written in
her
the same.
name's written in the book. That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm here to remember shit that you can't.
That I can't remember.
Because you've done 18 million episodes.
Not that much.
Well,
yeah.
we could do it tonight.
Yeah.
We just last on until 18 million. Just let it roll. Let it roll, MattyB.
We're just going to be like
40-year-long podcast. Here we go. Day one.
We've been sitting here for 23 hours and
like that movie Life with dude, if I was in prison for life and you were in prison for life, let's do a podcast. Even if we didn't record it, we just sit around talking just like we were.
Bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not a fucking bad.
You want to rob a bank? Here, we know the end game.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad podcast idea.
There you go.
You can go pick up like a few lifers and just kind of like give them some microphones. Like, all right, just record some shit. And,
send me an MP3 every 2 weeks.
No, I'll be back. I'll come pick up the SD card.
Yeah. Give you some money.
Yeah.
Give you some money in your little kitchen.
Yeah.
Get you some noodles.
I think that might be illegal, but
you can't. No, you could contribute to their
they
have accounts.
They have accounts. Oh
yeah, so they can get shot. Is that in my? I don't know about here.
Yeah.
I watch Lockup. I used to watch a lot of Lockup.
Okay.
I feel like that would be good.
I'm not familiar.
Have you ever been to jail?
I would never want to go to jail.
Have you ever been to jail?
I've never been to jail. No.
MattyB, have you ever been to jail?
I don't ever want to go to jail.
I've been to
You're
jail.
good, man. You're good.
Few times.
Uh-huh.
Look, when you go to jail, if you don't have anything.
Wait, there's a difference between jail and prison, though. Yeah.
No. I've never been in no prison. No, God, never been in no prison.
Lord,
we're not talking Red and Shawshank and none of that. I remember when I met Eddie Dufresne. He claimed he was innocent. Yeah, no, jail, just regular
Just
jail. Yeah. Not even county, just the jail, just the arrested and put in. Yeah,
the drunk tank.
Not even the drunk tank.
Okay.
Because I've been arrested not drunk also. Although I've been arrested drunk too. But it's not. Sometimes you got to stay. And it's not fun.
Okay.
And the thing is, you realize that, like, oh man, like you get like for breakfast, you know what I mean? It really is. It's not, it's like you get a little honey bun and coffee, but like you can imagine, because I mean, if you're getting that, that's nothing. It's nothing. It's very like you're probably getting out in hours,
right.
But you can imagine like that being like a 6-month sentence.
Right.
No, man, I mean, like going to jail, and I'm not even trying to act hard or anything. Like I've been like being arrested sucks. I can't imagine what going to jail's like.
Right.
Because it sucks, man. Dude, it seems to suck. Just being detained for 12 hours is terrible.
Right.
And that's about it for me. But yeah, I mean, dude.
That was my tipping point.
That was it? No.
And that's when I knew I wasn't cut out for this.
I was... After about 2 hours, I was quoting Tupac. You know, keep your head up. You know, I ain't gonna steal my blanket. But, you know, then my mom came, knocked on the window.
right.
Tell me, it's time to go.
Come on, honey.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. So, went out, bummed a cigarette from the guard on the way out, and just, you know, took my ear beating.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Free.
Can't keep me down. Leaving like the black dude on Cruel Intentions. Yeah. The black man is free. When he didn't even do anything, you know. I pulled you in off the streets. Off the streets. I'm from New York. I live in Manhattan, 4th and Park. Went to Yale. But yeah. But no, it just seems that there was a if you've ever watched, and not that it was accurate, but if you ever watched like period pieces on HBO, you know, like Boardwalk Empire, you know, for instance, you know, like the 20s, those seem like hard people, you know, and it seems like people that like old school Catholic priests seem like hard people, you know,
coming up,
and they came from.
We can't get away from it.
But what I mean is well, no, because I want to segue into the fact that it also seems that, you know, it's just a generation. And I've been watching a lot of
but yeah,
Michael Jackson interviews.
I heard something that said Leonardo da Vinci had a young boy as a helper, but he was also his lover.
Yeah. That's always been the rumor. Not even him, Galileo, I think too. Even way back in the ancient Greek times. Also, I mean, well, the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, they were all into dude on dude. You know, I mean, like warriors. Dude on Warriors, and I believe if you can pull this up, MattyB, if you can pull up the Seaman tribes of New Guinea. Have you heard about this?
No, never.
Yeah, the Seaman tribes of New Guinea. I don't know, that's not really what they're called, but it'll come up on Google. Basically, we're like these old elderly guys from New Guinea. They basically recruit these young guys to come, and they gotta give them blowjobs and swallow it, and that gives them the power of their elders.
Right there, play that YouTube video right there. Yeah,
because they think that it's like getting close to their elders.
Wait, who's this video? Who's this video by? I think the you got music still playing there. This is the Zambians. This is by someone who posted in 2017, Manohas.
Yeah, the Seaman drinking tribe. There you go.
Let's go to an article. Let's go to an article better, so we don't have to deal with this shit. Yeah, Zambia people.
Our real yeah, male rights.
Yeah, no, go to an article. It's better.
Yeah.
Right there. Go down, origin culture, up, from boys to men. Then down, right there.
From. Yeah, that's. I don't know why they spell boys with a Z.
Yeah. Interesting. So this is originculture.com, and go ahead and go down into today's. Oh my gosh. It's way too much to read right now. In today's society, we have to be careful about how we view and portray cultural practices as due to our own ignorance and conditioning as inhabitants of the West.
So you're going to read the second paragraph. Start from the second paragraph.
Right, such as the case of the practice of masculinization as it is conducted by the Zambia tribe of Papua New Guinea. This ritual, which is a symbol of young boys' rite of passage to manhood, starts when a boy is between the ages of 6 to 10 and comprises of 6 stages. Imperative to the processes and teachings of the initial ceremony is the notion that women can be dangerous to men. To become a man and in essence a warrior, these young men are taught how to detach themselves from their mothers and the women around them as a means of showing that they can live without them and prove their masculinity.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hava update.
Not now, Hava.
Yeah, just press escape or something. Oh, yeah. Go. I think it's Google Chrome, yeah.
And go down?
All right, yeah, go down. The 6-stage process of affirming one's manhood can take anywhere between 10 to 15 years until these young men give birth to a child. Much of the initiation and training is characterized by what some have been deemed to be highly eroticized and sexual. In the first stages, a sharp stick of cane is deeply inserted into the young boy's nostrils until he bleeds profusely. The young boys are also introduced to older warriors who are told that bachelors are going to copulate with them to make them grow. Copulate as in, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout much of the 6 stages, the act of having the stick of cane inserted into the nostrils and performance of fellatio are integral to the process of becoming a man. While the former practice is often derided as many as inhumane and the latter is often referred to as homosexual behavior, the Sambia's understanding and purpose behind these 2 processes differs from our conventional understanding. You can keep going down.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And this is happening. Look at the date on that article. I mean, it's happening now. I mean, Papua New Guinea's what,
Go up.
a 4-hour flight from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year is this? Does it say the year?
I mean, it's new enough to look like that, you know?
Right. Go back. It might have on the search thing. I thought I saw like 2017. I guess not.
No.
X out of that thing right there. The people also search for. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. But even still, I mean,
the only one that doesn't have a date.
yeah, there's 2016, 14, mind-blowing ritual about ritualized homosexuality in Melanesia. That's from 2014. From
try that
Ian Chow.
Naira Land. Go down. March 7, 2018.
Yeah. That drinks semen to turn boys into men.
Crazy.
The Sambia tribe.
Yeah, they
Papua
sort
New
of,
Guinea, it's the same
sort
name.
of all talk of
Yeah, it's the
talk
same
about the
name.
same thing.
Yeah, so this is going on currently. That's what I'm saying. You know, so we're not that far removed from, you know, what I mean, and we, you know, obviously in
From the savagery of human
DNA, just
nature.
the fact that, you know, yeah, just human nature, and the fact that, you know, it was dog world. And I mean, back in the day, I mean, if you lived somewhere and boats showed up, that means everybody you know is about to probably be raped and pillaged, you know?
right.
And that's
That's based off of experience.
And I mean, like, think about it. If people lived 75 years ago, that's 5 humans from me and you know,
Right.
regardless of where, you know, which direction it shoots off from in the world. I mean,
Right.
5 humans ago from me and you, we're 1800, early 1800s, maybe,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
I mean, and, you know, this is going on now, and it was going on even worse then, you know, I mean, if you think about the 1960s, my parents were born in the 60s, you know, and they were still hosing down black people, you know, in the States, and,
Right,
and you know, and
right.
still kicking them out of diners and stuff, just
Right.
because of the color of
Segregation
their
was
skin.
still alive.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
Martin
right.
Luther King died in what, 69, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, gave the I have a dream speech in 65, I think, and I think he was assassinated in 69, and you know, I mean, like, fine, yeah, I mean, like, not fine, but I mean, it's like that wasn't that long ago. So
Do
I
you
mean, if you want to
think-
think that we've moved past it, like, you can't think.
Do you
that
think the
because-
progression of society hasn't moved fast enough with the progression of technology? Like we weren't.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right.
Society wasn't ready for what technology
Yeah.
was about to expose about it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, and that's what I'm saying about. I mean, like, it's just we just move way past it, you know. And not that I'm saying fine, you know, that anybody was assassinated, whether it be JFK or, you know, MLK or, you know, Chick or
Or
anybody,
Abraham Lincoln.
or Abraham Lincoln or anything, because I mean, it's all the same thing. But it's like fine because everything kept progressing. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, you just killed them for no reason, you know. And how much better the world, you know, could have been with, you know, all these people. But it's just like, oh, because the world was so stupid then, which it still is,
It really is.
you know. And it's just like, fine, so, you know, so you kill somebody, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, doesn't mean that, like, it, I don't know, you know, it's just, it's very, you know, just kind of defeating, you know. It's like, you know, just being like, are we ever going to learn just in general, no matter if it's the 18, you know what I mean? Because everybody's always fought everything all the time, you know. I mean, 1500s, it was Genghis Khan. You know, I mean, like, you know, if you live in the Asian steppe, if you lived, you know, in Europe, it was the Vikings.
And he was killing millions and millions of people.
Yeah, and even modern day, which is
he
what
was also having sex with millions of people.
Right. Yeah, which is what we can speak to today. I mean, like, you know, modern day here, and, you know, what everybody else knows more, you know, 1800s, the Spanish took over everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, Cuba, Philippines, here. I mean,
they're all over the place. Right.
All over the place. Yeah. And I mean, it's just, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. You know, you can kill an activist, you can kill, you know what I mean, this person or that person,
right.
but like, I think this is the cycle of the world. I don't know how significant people are, I guess, is my whole point in general. I don't know how significant.
Because you can go off and kill off people.
And it's so easy. But at the same time, it means so much to somebody.
Right.
You know, like for instance, this year, you know, here on Guam, you know, like, Guam's lost, like, for broadcasters. You know, I've been here almost 10 years.
Okay.
As a broadcaster. And, you know, Guam lost Travis Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
Guam lost John Anderson.
Right.
And most recently, this past week, Guam lost Rex Sorensen.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, you're talking about titans of their
broadcasting
industry.
back then, yeah.
But you're also talking about three huge, big building blocks of one same company, you know? And, you know, I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, I mean, it means so much, you know? But at the same time, I mean, like, it's just, I don't know how much because going to funerals, you know, going to that many funerals, you know, going to one personally lately, it's just, you see people so sad, and you see people so just nostalgic, and, you know, and clingy, and just, you know, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just also at the same time, it's just like, you know, we're all going out, you know, and not to be cynical, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's the inevitable death.
Yeah, like, this is every single person that's attending whatever funeral you're at is all going out the same way.
Yeah.
Of the reason that you're there.
You just don't know how. Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody ever knows how, and more tragic than others. And I'm not here to downplay any of that. I'm just saying the end game is the end game, which is ain't nobody ever made it out alive.
Right.
So, you know, it's just it makes me think not even just about humans.
It just reminded me of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
But you can't kill me.
Yeah.
I still have my legs.
But yeah, I mean,
oh shit, good.
No, I was just saying, but you know, like, it makes you think, because I mean, like, people always talk about cataclysm, you know, and that is a very real, you know, thing. I mean, we as Kylie Jenner could be a billionaire, but if Old Faithful blows and you know, engulfs 3/4 of the United States, it doesn't matter who Kylie Jenner ever was.
Right.
And the rest of us are in nuclear winter,
right,
you know, and fighting for our lives to eat, and to, even if we, like, I don't even know if I want to make it out of a nuclear winter, but, you know, I mean, that's, you know, that's and the world has proven, this planet has proven, you know, that's what it does.
Right. It just recycles people.
Yeah, or dinosaurs, or whatever it needs to.
Gary Vee said, and this is something that always sticks with me, is that Prince lasted for 3 days after he died.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. People talked about Prince for 3 days.
Yeah, and that was it.
And that was it. People moved on, because that's what people do, and that's what the world has become.
Yeah,
is that people just move the fuck on now.
And the thing is even faster than they did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Way faster. It's like a blink of an eye.
Because if they're not constantly stimulated, most people, then they don't. They freak out, like today.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I can't rant on Facebook? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You know what I mean?
Trying to comment on this post for like 5 hours.
God, honestly, I think I'm really funny. I got comments on this post, bro, and Facebook fucking won't even let me, bro.
I don't fuck with that,
bro.
Twitter shit.
Fuck Zuckerberg, bro. Fuck Zuckerberg, bro. But yeah, you know, people get pissed. People get mad.
Sensitive world today.
Yeah.
But even more sensitive because now we have a focus of an island. You know, this island's very hypersensitive, I believe, to anything. I mean, not to name any names, but just like the Twitter beefs that go on. I don't even have to be following certain people. And I'm still seeing it. I still run into it. It's like, what's going on here?
I had
What is really going on here? What are we really fighting for here on this island? Right?
there seems to be it's because they don't know each other. It's because they can just say whatever the fuck they want, and they don't have to sit here like you and me and face each other and be like, oh, you don't like Fruity Pebbles? Well, fuck you. I do. Fuck Captain Crunch, or whatever.
Fruity Pebbles.
But you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's because of that reason, I think. Because, like, they can just go back and forth on Twitter, and it doesn't really ever manifest into anything but, words. And, I mean, certain people who are vocal on Twitter, if you don't like them, they usually are in certain places, so you can just avoid them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, maybe you'll run into them at Payless or whatever, but like usually,
but it's easy to just go into the next aisle.
Like, let's just go in a hypothetical, right? We'll just use an example. Let's just say, oh, I don't know, you're a concert promoter and you're feuding with a local musician.
No.
So
everybody who's listening to this on Twitter, who was on Twitter, knows it's not a hypothetical situation. So let's not even go there, please. I don't want to be a part of that.
But what I'm saying is, just don't go to where that person is, or just don't go to that. Meaning, what I'm saying is like you can still go back and forth on Twitter and still avoid each other in real life. And I think that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that I have a hard time believing, maybe I'm wrong, but I have a hard time believing that the things that have been said would have been said if they were sitting here like you and I are sitting here. You know what I mean?
Just depends on the person, yeah. But
maybe it does depend on the person, and maybe it depends on the person and whether they would even sit down with another person.
Right.
And I get it because people come from so many different backgrounds. Everybody, you know what I mean? I mean, like, there's people I wouldn't sit down with, and I get, they wouldn't sit down with me and whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I just think that it's really easy to just say things with your thumb on a phone.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter whether it be a crappy Instagram post, no matter whether it be on Twitter, no matter whether it be about the fact of this should be that or that should be this or whatever. It's just that it should be. I mean, like, if you really want to have an open dialogue, have an open dialogue. Otherwise, you're just spitting venom and hate, and that's really not doing anybody any good.
Yeah. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved just because I like to talk about it in a general aspect, but to pinpoint specifically all the issues, man, it's tricky, dude. It's tricky because everybody feels right. We all feel right. And maybe, yeah, of course. Of course. I'm entitled to feel right. You know why?
Everybody is.
Because
right?
I can put my opinion on any social media platform, and guess what? No matter what you say, hey, I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right.
And you're exactly right.
Right.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why, I guess, to me...
Can we get a couple more? And get yourself one too, sir. Please.
Get yourself something nice.
Get yourself something nice. Get yourself something nice and sweet.
Oh, I like that hoodie.
Beautiful.
So, no, what I'm saying is you're exactly right. And I'm not here to take sides. I don't care. Because I don't use social media to divulge everything. You know what I mean? Like, meaning, like, if I have an opinion... I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, what I'm saying is, like, that's just me personally. Like, meaning, like, I'm not gonna ever put, like, social media to me is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my real thoughts, I mean, like, I'll post, like, YouTube videos, or I'll post, like, quotes, or I'll maybe like, oh, God, the person in front of Payless, you really got to pay all $28 of your grocery bill in pennies, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm not going to be like, hey, you know what? Yeah. Like, I fucking feel slighted because this or that or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. It's not time for it. You know why? Because you know how quickly it could come crashing down on you? You know how fast it you know what I mean? And not only that, you know how much it consumes people.
Right.
And some people just go for the throat, even if you, because you hear it all the time, whether it be on the celebrity level, local level, international level, social level.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is like you see somebody will be like, oh yeah, they'll say something, and then somebody will take it in a different way because there is no tone. It's just text.
Right.
Which is the problem with text message. It's like, hey, what's up? Or, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, like, but when you read it, it's the same, but it's up to you and what kind of mood you're in when you read it.
Yeah.
It's just like what.
And if you know the way the person speaks,
right? And that's what I'm saying. And so, like, there's just so much more room for error which is why I just guess. I think the whole problem was, and this is just me being hippy dippy, just like the problem with the world.
You do look hippy dippy right now.
Thank you. Hippy dippy problem with the world is that I think we just took social media way too seriously a long time ago. Not even recently, a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like it's a place to post like, hey, here's.
I don't feel like MySpace was that serious.
It wasn't.
I mean, no one ever posted.
Like there was no political
Like,
views, there was no religious stuff, there was no like, PETA videos or whatever, like, like, oh, sharing articles, like, oh, these trophy hunters should be killed, which whatever. But like, it was like, and fine.
It was like first day of college.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you think trophy hunters should be killed, fine. If you want to share that, fine. But you gotta understand that has polluted what social media originally was on MySpace, which was like, hey man, I'm gonna fucking play Santa Monica by the Theory of a Dead Man and come look at my, my Hillary Duff pictures and check out the hot girls in my top 8 that I actually know because I have a picture with them in my photos. Yeah. But that was it. Like it wasn't like, Bush is attacking Iraq. You know what I mean? Like
I just for some reason I feel like people feel obligated to defend themselves. Like
so much, man.
Dude,
that is a natural
whether you're fucking right or wrong, you just have that itch. If someone responds to you and it goes against you,
always.
It's like, oh, no. I'm gonna get. It's like I gotta get the last word.
And
right?
And that's human psychology, man. Like, because I'm guilty of it. I'll tell you I'm guilty of it. But I've also called people out. I'm like, like for instance, somebody will be like, hey man, like. You're coming over this week, right? I'm like, yeah. And then like the day comes by, like, dude, I thought you were coming over, man. I ordered a bunch of pizza and stuff. You're like, oh man, I forgot. Does that ever happen to you?
Never. I ordered a bunch of pizzas, but
for somebody that was coming, you never ordered pizzas for coming over? Maybe some sardines.
People have not shown up before.
But what I'm saying is like if you legitimately forgot, and the person's like, well, dude, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. Order all these pizzas, bro. You said we'd come over. It's like, yeah, but like, I didn't, like, I forgot, Like, why are you mad at me? I legitimately feel like, do you think I'm lying to you? And if you are, then okay, that's a different conversation. But if you're not, then it's just like, dude, I get why you're upset, but like, I'm not lying to you and I'm really sorry. So, why, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I mean?
I got you.
Because everybody's initial reaction, I guess is my point, is to be like, if you like, it's hard to talk to people sometimes. Hey man, like if you have a roommate, you're like, hey man, I really appreciate if you started filling up the water pitcher that we leave in the thing. It's like, bro, why's that good be me? You left it, bro. Honestly, I didn't even say anything all these times, but bro, for like the last month, dude, you haven't even been fucking changing the toilet paper, bro. And it's like, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm talking about the water pitcher. Like, okay, then why didn't you say something a month ago then, bro? But why you gotta get mad? Just be like, because I clearly just caught you. Yeah. Like, you're right.
It's just so crazy how, communication is key, but sometimes over communication can be detrimental to any relationship.
Sometimes people just can't own up to anything. I mean, it's like roommates or friends or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, people go defensive so quick.
It's accountability, right? Yeah. So now
nobody wants to be wrong.
Well, now that we're able to, we can just text message people, and we're not in the age anymore where if they're not by a telephone, there's no way you can get in contact with them. Today it's either email, DMs, either on any social media platform, telephone, cell phone, landline, whatever it may be, cousin's cell phone, auntie cell phone,
prepaid.
Yeah, it can be literally anything. Before,
Wi-Fi call.
You had one means of getting hold of somebody, or maybe two. No, one. Their fucking house.
There you go.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So when you made plans back then, you would have to be like, okay, we're gonna meet here at this time.
Yeah. And you're just off in the world.
Yeah. And so back then, people were like, okay, I gotta be there at 6. Now it's like, I'm going to text them. I'm going to be a little late. I'm going to be like 15 minutes late.
You moved to the States after you graduated high school, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't grow up in the States as a kid?
No.
So growing up in the States as a kid in those days, and I'm on the cusp, so I'm not trying to, old man. But I mean,
are you older or young?
yeah, no, I'm right in the middle because
You're old.
Yeah, I'm old.
You're old.
Is because I remember my uncle, my dad's younger brother, is 5 years younger than my dad, so he was born in 1970, right? So he graduated high school in '89, and he immediately joined the Air Force, and we lived in
You
Texas.
graduated high school at 19. Interesting.
Is that yeah, maybe,
Wow.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? He turned 19 in because his birthday's in January. I got to think his birthday's in January. So he turned 19 in January of '89, then graduated, I guess, in May.
Wow.
I don't know. Was he born in 70? Maybe
I don't know. I don't know. That's not my uncle.
He's maybe born in 70 or 71. Maybe he was born in 71. Anyway.
Okay.
One of those. Anyway, yeah. He's 18 or 9. Anyway. So, but what I mean is so in that day, 1989, 1990, he left for boot camp for the Air Force. And then he was stationed in the Air Force out in Abilene, Texas. And we were from Dallas. So, it's a good 3-4 hour drive, something like that. If my memory may fail me, but somewhere around there. And I remember as a kid, like him calling my grandparents, because I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and he would call my grandparents, be like, Mom and Dad are coming home, and that was it. And then 4 or 5 hours later, we just expected him.
Right.
But I mean, like, there was no cell phone. He was like, yeah, I'm leaving Abilene.
Right.
Yeah, I'm leaving home. I'm walking out the door right now. See you when I get there. And then, 4.5, 5 hours later, he'd show up.
You have to trust that they're going to be there.
Yeah, and if he didn't, you're like, well, maybe he stopped. Or maybe he, then like 8 hours.
But how often do people say, oh, something came up? Oh.
Well, he never would because he was coming home. But yeah, I mean.
No.
Yeah.
But now today.
Oh, now today. Oh.
Today. It's easy to send a text message and be like, hey, bro, I totally forgot.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just fell asleep. I can't. I really wanted to come out, too. I just can't. I was asleep. Yeah, I get that all the time. You know what I mean?
And as we get older, the more often it becomes because, dude,
you should warn whoever uses microphone next. You should warn.
Yeah,
that I
Blake's
ate.
beard was all over.
That I ate. I hope it's Josie.
He was.
Invite Josie on next. Just
Blake was eating out the mic.
yeah, pull a fast one on Josie. She won't care. She won't care. She hangs out with dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen her workout videos, yeah,
No.
with dinosaurs. But yeah. I don't know. I just think it's I don't know. I hope in getting back to all of it and the culture and everything, I just hope that we progress as people and we stop molesting kids, and I hope that we stop suppressing, because I think.
But that is what's happening.
But I also
right?
think
because
it starts with suppressing feelings.
Because look at when all of the occurrences has happened. 70s, 80s. I was a young boy in the 70s. I was a young boy in the 80s. Right, we're not hearing anything of the 90s, 2000s.
Nah, to the 2000s. You urban Cash Money. I love Cash Money.
So it's maybe in another 20 years we may hear. Hopefully not. And
Hopefully
I don't think
not.
so.
It seems to be going away, dying.
I don't want to get people wrong though, because we brought up the Catholic Church and the abuses and stuff like that a few times here. I grew up a Catholic. I'm a proud Catholic.
I was raised Catholic.
Right.
I was an altar server. I was in Catholic school, Catholic elementary school, all throughout. So yeah, it sucks.
Well, something I just brought. I went to public school for elementary school, and I remember in public school we had the ruler of the school, and I just tweeted this recently, just today. And I was just thinking about the ruler of the school, and one of my best friends in first grade, by the time we got to fifth grade, he had progressed as ruler of the school. So, yeah, very interesting. Right. So I was still like down here, but I was still protected because I was friends with the ruler of the school. Man, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like everybody knows who the fuck the ruler of the school is when lunchtime comes, when you're walking around. This is growing up on Guam.
Right.
Guam. Growing up here.
I heard y'all had a choice, by the way. Can you just confirm this rumor that I heard? I heard that when it was Sloppy Joe, y'all got a choice of bun or rice. Is that true?
I never had a choice.
You always got rice?
I was one of the pickiest eaters as a child.
Really?
Yeah, so I was very fortunate to have one of my friends. His name is Andrew.
Shout out to Andrew.
Yeah, he would actually give me his lunch.
Do you still remember him?
I do.
Now that you're
I
all big
do.
time.
No,
Now that you're super famous.
not at all. Not at all. Not even close to famous. But I haven't seen him in recent years. Maybe the last time I saw him had to been within the last decade.
Mm.
But yeah, dude, he used to give me his lunch when
Really? Just give it to you?
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, you don't like your lunch? You don't like lunch today? I'll take it." Cuz he'll eat anything. But he knew I was fucking picky as shit.
So what would he give you?
Super appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about public school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that, you know, as a Catholic, I maybe not be practicing today the way people expect people to practice today, but I believe that Catholicism is a great foundation to raise a child off of.
Yeah.
You know,
Just stop touching boys. That's all.
I was trying to go somewhere good with this, bro.
Well, no, it's a good foundation. That's the same foundation I came up with. But just don't, you know.
Was it more of
Cut it out.
your Mexican side that
It was 100% my Mexican side. My dad didn't even go to church. My dad's white. He's a rodeo cowboy.
Okay.
My dad was always chasing bulls or the next rodeo or whatever. My mom was always at home with me and my sister, just you know, hanging out.
Yeah, one of my buddies, I just went to a wedding in Arizona in December, and he's white. His family's from Arkansas, and
It's pronounced Arkansas.
No, it's Arkansas. It's Arkansas.
Yeah,
And
his Razorbacks.
Yeah, and his lady is she's Latina from Arizona.
Ooh.
So yeah, and it amazes me, and it'll always amaze me how close the Latino culture is to the Chamorro culture. You know, even just the general structural makeup. Me and Matt have the same grandmother.
It was top three reasons.
This lady that I met at the wedding, look exactly like my grandmother. I even told her.
Top three reason I moved here is because of that reason that you're saying. My mom told me that. My mom came out here for a month-long training. She's like, well, I'm like, why Guam? She's like, well, you're talking about Hawaii. I'm like, yeah, because I went there as a kid. I always told you I want to move to Hawaii. I got to sell T-shirts out of a van down by the river.
yeah.
I pulled out the headphones. But yeah. And so whenever I started talking about it, you know, she was like, well, maybe, because she had been out here on a Navy, I forget the acronym, TDY,
PCS?
One of those two. She was just a month-long training.
She
never lived out here. She was
right.
just a training. And so she was like, well, you should look into Guam. And one of the reasons was she was like, it's very rooted in like Spanish Catholic culture, you know, which you know. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
You know, because my dad was from a small town. You know, so everybody's like, oh, you're David, you know, you're David's grandson. Okay. And on top of that, you know, if you're really looking for Hawaii, you know, like that kind of scene, as far as like landscape wise, it's way less crowded, way more warm, way more, you know, just the beaches are better. And she's right, you know, and so it really fit me easily because I came from a small town and I came from a Latin Catholic background, you know, so coming here, you know, where everybody's like, oh, who are you and who do you know? And, you know, so it really helped me to get in, you know, with like Sorensen earlier, you know, and it was like, oh, I'm Power 98. Oh, okay. You know, even though they didn't know me, they knew Ray or you know, there's somebody. And so it was just, it was enough of association to be accepted, but it was really easy because I knew how to kind of, you know what I mean? Like I knew how it worked, I guess, you know, and also with, you know, with the tradition, you know what I mean?
But now I got to thinking, it's like, when you go to Hawaii, it's not that sort of same culture, though.
No. Well, I only vacationed there like 2 weeks at a time when I was
totally
a kid.
Different, dude.
No, but before I moved here, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know anything about Guam. I just saying like I was either going to backpack in Europe. I wanted to come to Hawaii, but when I started talking about Hawaii, my mom quickly diverted me to Guam.
Yeah.
So Hawaii quickly became an afterthought. I mean, I just said it, and she was like, "Oh, well, if you're thinking about Hawaii." Let me show you Guam. And she started talking it up. So I never really considered Hawaii other than the fact that I was like, oh, I'm thinking about Hawaii. She's like, well, look into Guam first. And when I did, I never looked back. So, and by the way, May 22nd
is your anniversary.
10 years.
Damn, you're officially localized, bro.
10 years.
Officially localized.
Both my kids were born in GMH.
Nice.
You know GMH?
Yeah. I know that place. No, I wasn't born there, but yeah.
I think it's been in the news lately. But yeah. So so like I said, like it could have gone either way. It was a big toss up for me about 10 years ago, and
Yeah, but you could have ended up in Hawaii and
or
just be like
Spain.
Yeah, that's very true. But
Because I was headed there more than likely.
but the similarities in the cultures between the Latino culture and the Chamorro culture is fucking insane, bro. It's insane, and you can't compare the Latino culture to the Hawaiian culture at all.
Not at all.
Zero.
Not at all.
Zero.
Not at all. Do you can you pull up Instagram? You can pull up my Instagram, right? You won't get banned for pulling up my Instagram.
No, not at all.
At Blake on Air. Can you just pull up my my latest post? Because I want to show you this. So I've been recently, I don't know if you saw, I've been recently getting into not that I've been getting into it, I've always been into it my whole life. But I've been recently like going online and I found a new way to spend my money.
Okay.
I've been buying these like, instead of craft beer, because I'm trying to drink less, I'm buying craft hot sauce.
Craft sauce?
So click on that first one. Yeah. So anyway, the whole point is that like, like what we're talking about, like the Mexican and Latino culture. The reason that I wanted to bring that up is because you see that ancho marita. That's ancho, but it's like Latin inspired, but also like a little island, you know what I mean? Little island inspired. And that company makes like a ghost pepper pineapple. They make like a Thai basil, you know what I mean? I mean, like, because they make batches, so it's like beer. They make batches. Then once they're out, they're out. But yeah, it's anyway, it's just crazy because that sauce, just to talk about the cultures, I like to go back to food. That is like a Filipino Chamorro Mexican sauce. You know what I mean? You can put it on adobo. You can put it on short ribs, grilled.
Really?
You can put it on tacos. You can put it on whatever, and it tastes just as good as anything. So anyway, I'm just saying it's just crazy because I like to liken culture to food, and the fact that you say it's so similar, it's also in the I think it all derives from the same people who like when the Spanish came here, maybe to Guam. They mixed their foods,
Of course they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they mixed their language.
They mixed it with the Philippines, they mixed it everywhere along the way. And
I mean, basically, we took adobo and called it stafao.
Yeah.
And stafao is probably a Spanish word.
Yeah, and you know what? Philippines, now, mind you, I'm...
I'm getting backlash.
And I will say this.
Careful.
I am a condiment person. I've been a condiment person. I'm not.
Really.
I love mustard. I love Tabasco. I love all of it my whole life. And I will tell you this, it wasn't until I moved to Guam to where my favorite condiment of all time, there's not even any, if you were like, Blake, you got to be on a desert island. Deserted?
Wait, I think.
You want this desert island? Desert island? Is there the desert?
Deserted. It's definitely deserted.
Okay. Deserted. No, if you put me on a deserted island,
deserted island,
and you gave me like whatever I could eat, but you gave me one condiment, it would be finadini all day long. It's my favorite. I love it. And I also saw, by the way, shout out to Josie online, Latitude 13.
Mm-hmm.
Is cherry tomatoes not a thing in finadini?
No, I put it in.
Yeah, because I think she asked on Twitter.
I have some finadini. Let's prove this right now.
Yeah, because she asked.
I have some finadini inside.
Do you have some?
I have some inside the fridge. And
Josie, because Josie was like, so when did we start putting cherry tomatoes in finadini? And I was
Really?
like,
Oh.
yeah. I was like, I think, well, because the white finadini for the fish always gets cherry tomatoes. Always. See, and that's what
Matt, do you? So Matt's from Georgia. So
yeah, and that's where I learned that. I learned the white finadini from Georgia. I learned the white finadini, the lemon, and the cherry tomatoes for fish. Right? Yeah, I learned that from Georgia. So I see. Oh yeah, that's right.
Go ahead, take a dip, bro.
I don't.
Get him a chopstick inside the thing,
There are cherry tomatoes
or a spoon. There should be like a little mini spoon in the back there.
But yeah, so she was like,
How about you eat a cherry tomato? I bet you it'll be the best cherry tomato.
I eat a donut too. I love donut. Oh.
Damn, bro, you're taking it to the next level.
Yeah, man. But no, yeah. But what I'm saying is like, because I think that's really how a lot of people are tied. Music, culture, food. And so like the fact that the Philippines is so close to the Spanish, is so close to the Chamorros, is so close to the Philippines, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, there's so much crossover.
Wait, give me a phone? Let me take a photo of this guy doing this. Okay. Oh my god. It's very good, Finadeni. Go ahead. Put it in front of your face.
It's very good. Dude.
Bro, you can't put it back in the thing after you put it in your mouth.
Did
That's the reason why I give you a spoon.
Oh, sorry, bro. Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't mean
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
my mouth's clean.
It's fine. So we know.
It's clean.
It's had some beer,
I'm
right?
sterilized. Yeah, I'm sterilized. I've been sterilizing in the last 2 hours.
What do you think? Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Cherry
And-
tomatoes, bro.
and
I'm all about it.
No, and me too. So cherry tomatoes belong in it, Josie. Just to let you know.
Joseph, this is all Blake. This ain't me. This ain't me.
But anyway, so I just use that picture example, like I said, just to go back to your point as far as culture goes. It's all very tied together, even if it is with food, because I mean, like, that's why there's so much crossover. Like, Perez is Perez is Perez is Perez. You know what I mean?
Or Gutierrez is Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, yeah. Which even in Texas, it's Gutierrez.
Like Gutierrez.
But that's the thing. That's weird to you, and that's weird to me too. And I'm from Texas, so it's not Gutierrez in Texas, it's Gutierrez. But in Texas, it's Perez, not Perez. So when you're like, oh, it's Perez, I'm like, oh, okay, well, where are they from?
Right.
Oh, Guam? Okay, then it is Perez.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Reyes?
Or even like Cruz.
Yeah. Like my counselor in my senior year in high school, my counselor's name was Miss Reyes, Reyes, not Miss Regis. It was Miss Reyes. But if it was Guam, Miss Regis, of course. I mean, why? Yeah, of course. So it's just weird, but it's all derived from the same thing. It's what people adopted, along the way, which I think is, in turn, still super interesting.
Right.
That people, they get some people, and I'm talking about over time, like decades and generations and decades ago. They get so high and mighty, but yet they'll still tweak it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is the way you should do it.
Right.
Yeah, but it's Perez. No. It's Perez.
It's Perez.
Yeah.
Don't speak like that.
Or it's or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Actually, it's Regis. No, you're Reyes. You know what I mean? Reyes is easier.
But it's just amazing how that accent didn't transfer over to Guam as the language was brought over, as the Spanish language was brought over.
Could I just tell you, if I had an IV, I would put all your Finadini into the IV. Put it straight into my vein.
Thanks, bro.
But yeah, it's really good. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's a
Old
secret.
family recipe.
I have to kill you.
Old family. Don't tell me.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
You know what? That's the last thing I tasted, and you got to take me out after that.
That thing's been fermenting for about a week.
It was good. It was good. It was good.
That's the secret behind Finadeni.
Yeah.
If you look at Finadeni and the onions are still white, no,
got to be brown.
it's got to be brown. It's got to
brown.
soak in all that fucking flavor, dude.
I learned that when I learned how to make I learned how to make a fancy pasta that I taught myself how to make. But I would
What's fancy pasta?
well, I would make it because my mom was a single mom,
Okay.
and so she would work like sometimes 2 and 3 jobs, and so I would have to come home after like middle school, and my sister was like 2 years younger than me, so I did basically everything to pay the bills. Make sure my sister was she had her homework, she was squared away and all that. I had something to eat. My mom would buy the food, but I would cook it because my mom wasn't there anyway. She was working. And so I would make this fancy pasta where like for a couple days out, I would get cherry tomatoes, and I still make it to this day. And I'll teach my kids to make it. Cherry tomatoes, purple or white onions. I suggest both, but I get it. Just go with one if you want.
It's red onions, actually.
Red, like,
It is, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's red.
Yeah, MattyB would know. He's got a cooking show. Yeah. He's a
We're waiting for that cooking show.
You notice that
We're fucking waiting for that cooking show.
MattyB, you notice I didn't even fight you when you said Blake, he's red. I was like, I know he's got a cooking show. I ain't gonna fight him on it. That's my boy. It's my boy over there. Anyway, so you got that little bit of garlic, and instead of soy sauce, this is the difference because it's Italian, right? Instead of soy sauce, you go balsamic vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, a little splash of red wine, and then you let it sit for a couple days. And so that way, the same thing. If you pull it, if you want to cook with it, no matter what you want to do with it, you can throw it in a pan, saute it. You could put it in salad. You can put it in sauce. What it doesn't matter. But you don't ever want to start if the onions if they're still white, because that means it hasn't soaked up enough of the
Right.
the goodness.
The goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs a couple days.
Does need a couple days. But shout out to that company, whatever it is, for bottling Finadini. That's awesome. Finally somebody's doing it. And they're also,
I guess.
they're bagging red rice too.
But
dude.
Is it a Chamorro guy? If it's a Chamorro guy, then okay.
I don't know who it
If it's
is.
some white dude, then
Is it a white
it's
dude?
questionable.
Is it a white dude?
I don't know. I didn't know people were bottling a Finadini and bagging red rice. You can bag red rice?
It's called Parajita.
Gluten.
Parajita.
Matt, look up this fucking bag red rice.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is.
Look up Parajita. 671 maybe.
Is it an Instagram or they're bagging red rice?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they take the achoti powder, they mix it.
Oh yeah, just bagging red rice, Guam.
Are you guys trying to go on?
No. Go ahead. No, it's fine, it's
just
fine.
do what you need to do. Let's bring
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, there you go.
natural red rice.
What? No, that's not it.
No. Put Guam. Just put Guam there.
Yeah. There you go. Wait.
Oh,
No. Search.
red rice to go.
Yeah. Search Parajita. Pratita. Hita. Yeah. Guam. If we're wrong, it'll fix it.
A modern approach.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. It's that second image right there.
Yeah, just click on their website.
It's that they're also bagging tatitas.
Yeah. Go to their website.
Yeah, no, this is it. Yeah. This is it. There you go. There's a bag of red rice. There's a bottle of Finadini, and there's your empanada chips.
Damn.
I don't know who it
shit.
is. I don't know who it is.
Go to their about.
We're about to find out.
See where
Who are you?
See where they're at. Go all the way down. All the way down. Alexandria, Virginia. Half a Day Parajita LLC was founded in 2017 with the simple idea of bringing a taste of Guam to the forefront of the culinary world. Growing up at the ranch in the village of Agate, food brought family and friends together. Okay. Read more. Go to read more. And let's look at their products. We're giving them some free exposure. Right?
Yeah.
This is all your fucking fault, dude.
You're welcome, Parajita. You better send me a bottle of Finadini.
Okay, go up. They have cherry tomatoes in their Finadini.
Yeah, that's what prompted Josie
Go play the
to say
video.
something.
Go to products.
This is what prompted her to say something.
This exact.
Yeah, she was like, since when did we start putting cherry tomatoes in Finadini?
Oh, interesting.
I think this is what she said.
Holiday?
If I'm wrong,
Okay.
Josie, I'm deathly sorry.
The only thing is
Message
we
me.
can't hate on people doing like promoting Guam stuff or Chamorro stuff if they live in the States, right? And it's
Yeah.
gonna be a different variation. I'm very
Are we live on YouTube?
no, we're not.
Okay.
Shut you down real quick. Sorry,
Yep.
bro.
Well,
Go down.
pretty
Keep
much
going
the end of
down. Keep going down. Let's see. All right. There's the Finadini in a bottle. Keep going down. There's the hot sauce. Finadini hot sauce. Damn, I'm curious. I'm almost curious how this all tastes. And here, okay. Every family has one family member that makes red rice for every fiesta. Doris was my family's go-to red rice maker. Blah, 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 blah. And so this is literally red rice in a bag. Microwavable?
And you thought
Can we click on it? Can we go up? See if we can, no? Nothing? Yeah. Page not found.
You know what? Go up to that media kit. See if there's anything in the media kit. Or see, it may be the same.
Video.
That's the video.
I guess we'll watch it.
We can. I wonder where it is.
Oh, they have a brick and mortar.
Yeah. But in Virginia?
And this is what I appreciate. You know, there's still people who hold on to the culture out there.
Mm-hmm.
But what people have to remember, and this is something that I really point on, really try to like stamp on, is that culture in the 80s is not the same as culture in the 90s. It's not the same as culture in the 2000s, and it's definitely not the same as the culture in the 2010s. Now, when we reach the culture of the 2020s, which I think is going to be the craziest changing times, mark my words now, on this fucking episode, It is
We're gonna go
be,
back for this, man.
It is going to be the largest changing times in Guam's history.
When he's voted out before the merge, and it's just you and I, the top 3 tribal council, we're going to go back and listen to this. Okay? And I'm not going to vote you out, all right?
Yeah.
I got your word, right? Do you have the
Yeah.
hidden immunity item?
And I'm not saying that the people who migrate from Guam and move out to the States, because I have a lot of family who has moved out to the States and planted themselves.
Shout out to Dartmouth.
Yeah. I mean, my sister's still young in the sense that she can still
She's still in school.
home.
She's
Right,
still,
right.
She can go wherever.
But I literally have family members that
always, yeah,
that-
everywhere.
that are rooted, and they've raised their kids there. So now we have entire generation of kids who won't know what Guam's like.
Mm-hmm.
Who will say when they're adults, you can close this. We don't have to see this anymore.
But they even got bell peppers up in their Finadini. I don't know about bell peppers.
I think it's cool. I think
Yeah, but it's cool.
I
You're
think
willing to give it a shot.
It's cool.
You're willing
Yeah,
to give it a shot?
maybe I'll order some shit.
There you go. Hey, I'm down. I want to try their Finadini.
I want to try that red rice.
I want to try. Yeah, if it's microwavable. I
It
mean,
does look microwavable.
yeah.
Anyways,
Finadini.
yeah, pull that shit down. God, stop giving them free exposure.
This is a business, MattyB. God. You didn't let no riffraff in the dough.
So I'm very, very curious on how the culture of Guam is going to change with now a new generation of people who are not growing up here, who will have identity issues.
But they're gonna come back, and the thing is if you gotta think if you leave Guam, this isn't a hypothetical. This really isn't a hypothetical. If you leave Guam untouched by not leaving Guam, and you go to college for 4 years and you come back, especially in today's U.S., you know what I mean? Like in today's states, you go what are you gonna, you know what I mean? How because that's very impressionable times. You know what I mean? For a college age person, no matter whether it be male, female, sports or not sports, or academic or not academic, it's just, I don't know. The momentum shift is so great. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just you go there and you get it. I don't know, or I don't know if that's just the way it is and everybody gets it. You know what I mean?
I don't really know what you mean.
Meaning, is there any fear of somebody going to either abroad or leaving Guam and going to the States? You know what I mean? Like, say somebody from Nashville, Tennessee, comes to Guam at UOG and they fall in love with the culture and everything, and then they look at the States. It's fucked up.
Okay.
And then vice versa. Somebody from Guam gets a full ride to Purdue University in Nashville, Tennessee, or I don't know if that's really, what I'm saying. But they get
shit.
Yeah, but but what I mean, meaning they go to
Arbitrarily going to the States.
Yeah, they go to a college in Nashville, Tennessee,
not coming back here.
Yeah, and then they look at Guam like, man, that's really fucked up. You know what I mean? Because it's both happened.
Right. It's just perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
Point.
Yeah. And and I guess the thing is that the fight seems to be on who's right, and I don't think anybody's wrong.
I don't think anyone's wrong too, and it's so funny.
And that's it.
It's so funny that you said that, because I told somebody that recently.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's wrong.
Like, everybody's right.
Yeah, I don't know why there has to be somebody wrong. Like,
even stuff that we were told was wrong, it turned out to be right because some dude got paid to tell people that it was wrong.
Yeah,
and that's going on an industrial scale, not even the localized scale. Like, we were told not to sleep with your hair wet because you're gonna wake up with a crooked finger. Right? Is that right, Matt? Or fucking your nose will be bent, squeezed in, right?
Yeah. Sounds
Bro, superstitions, dude. That's what Guam grew up on.
yeah.
And it's like, who's really right? What are you gonna believe in? Are you still gonna believe that you sleep with your hair wet? Maybe you'll get sick, but you're not gonna wake up and your nose is fucking smashed in like that.
I mean, unless you just got a crazy ex that just comes and beats you up in the night
With your hair wet.
Yeah, but hey, listen, if you got a crazy ex,
take
no
a
matter
fucking
whether your
fresh
hair
shower.
wet's not, you could shave your head and they'll still find a way to beat you up.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I think we're on the same page in the sense where it's not like to kind of go back to not defend those people who always seem to be on the defensive when you call them out. It's like, man, I'm not calling you out because I'm mad.
Right.
Just like just don't do it again. That's all. You know what I mean? Or just, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I won't do it again. Like, but you don't have to get mad at me.
Right.
You know? And so I don't know. It just seems that though communication is at an all-time high right now via like social media and all that, people seem way more distant than they ever have.
Oh, we are.
Because they don't have, like I said earlier, they don't have to deal with it. Like, I don't think that the people on Twitter that are bickering, no matter whether it be here locally, in DC, whether, you know, I don't think Trump would say, or I don't think people would say half the things to Trump that they would say on Twitter if they were fucking, you know, if they were standing in front of the guy's face. Or anybody, you know, or any athlete. You know, you're a fantasy football player, you know? I mean, like, how many fans are really going to curse out Ben Roethlisberger in person? If
right.
you know, if they were standing in the tunnel and he walked right by them,
but that's the problem too.
But on Twitter they can, and you're right, they can reach directly to them, and sometimes they'll get a response because sometimes these people will respond back.
We forget that people are people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Look at Russell Westbrook.
Have you seen? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But have you seen that documentary on Netflix about social media influencers and how
I've watched a couple episodes.
How some of them feel like they're even
it's really easy watch.
They're like zoo animals, dude.
Yeah.
They want to see you do what they see you do on social media.
Can you pull this up, MattyB? Can you pull up God, whatever, just so I don't have to walk you through the spelling. Just pull up Aunt Becky. Aunt Becky arrested. You saw what she did, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so the thing is,
so what Blake's referencing, you don't have to bring it up onto the screen, but what Blake is referencing is that there were some famous people or rich people, 2 famous people and a bunch of rich people who paid schools to get their kids into certain colleges, and there were also there was a fake foundation that they can donate to. And they help write fake profiles, Photoshop photos of their faces on athletic photos, and even gave reasons to people. Wow, we're talking about some really fresh fucking news here.
Yes.
Yeah. And gave people reasons to not question, or didn't give anyone reasons to question why someone wasn't on a sports team or anything like that, right?
Yeah, and basically what happened is that since that has all came out, Lori Loughlin's daughter has come out and said, like, there's video of her saying all she wanted was the experience. And here her mom is paying $500,000 just to get her admitted, and all she wanted was to go to games and live in a dorm.
And party.
Because the thing is, and she even said, she goes, all I want, like, because she and she's legitimate. Like, mind you, I know it's a terrible situation, but she's legitimate because she was doing just fine as an influencer. And now that, like, her mom's drug her through this, if her mom wanted her to go to college,
right?
Not her,
right?
You know. And so now that her mom's drug her through this, it's probably all going to come crashing down. And you know what's a fun fact? You know who her dad is? This will ring a bell with you for sure. Maybe not MattyB. But you know who her dad is? Massimo.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Aunt Becky from Full House married Massimo.
Wow.
The designer that we all coveted in the mid to late 90s. Yeah.
The challenger to Stussy for a point.
Yeah. And Alien Workshop.
Alien
Workshop. If you really skated, you know about Alien Workshop.
If you're really a skater.
Yeah. Drop them Jinkos on you. Whatever happened to Jinkos, bro? Whatever happened to Jinkos?
Designer jeans, literally.
The first ones, right?
Put fucking designs on the jeans.
Dude, they put like elephants and patches and stuff on the jeans. Yeah. But that's crazy because, yeah, she would, like, they came up with such a ruse to get these girls in school. I mean, like, you know, and it wasn't even, it was for nothing. I mean, like, you're rich and famous. Why force your daughter who doesn't want to go to school and is doing fine as a influencer,
right?
Which means something.
Oh shit.
Oh,
it's okay. Come get a napkin, Matt.
Which means something in this day and
age.
Grab
a towel in here. In here, because it's dripping through the cracks right now. It's okay. You're good.
Is that the first time we've ever had a spill?
No.
Oh. Who's the first one?
I've spilled something before.
Oh, have you? Have you ever broken a glass though?
Never.
Oh.
So Welcome. It's okay.
But being an influencer means something in this day and age.
It
And
does.
so like the fact that you would want your daughter, who was already an influencer before all of that,
Thanks, Matt.
would like that you would want to disrupt that just because you want her to live out a dream that you never had as a parent.
Yeah, but that's every parent's dream is to
Is it?
have them do something, have their child to have a better life than they have,
Yeah, but
or do things that they were never had the opportunity to get into. Can you grab some alcohol wipes in the closet there?
but to have, I mean, like having kids now, I guess I wouldn't want to push them.
There's no reason to though,
Right. Yeah.
because not at all. Because now there's different avenues to be profitable or to make a name for yourself or to do good. Yeah, of course, those classic and traditional ways of doing things would always be around there. If you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a lawyer, fuck you. Got stabbed. It's okay. You want to become a lawyer, whatever you want to become, right? You have to go to school. You have to do the proper schooling that's necessary to do so. But now there's different avenues. If you want to be a musician and sell a bunch of music online, if you want to open up toys for kids, if you want to make kids videos,
Yeah.
and that seems like to be the ultimate thing to get into is making kids shit.
Man, and not only that, you're bulletproof if you have a good enough excuse.
Right.
Because I've got a 2.5-year-old, and she watches this Blippy guy, and
Can
apparently,
you get him another cup? Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
thanks, Matt. If you, there's this Blippy guy that she watches,
Okay.
and I'm sure if parents are listening out there, that have kids, they know who Blippy is. Maybe they don't, but he basically he tried all kind of avenues. And what's funny is, like you said, the money must be in making kid videos, because it seems like that's the one that worked for him. Because if you go back to this dude's history, and there's nothing wrong with him, he didn't do anything wrong. He just initially started making like jackass type videos, to where like he took like a deuce on his friend,
Okay.
which like it's gross. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, he didn't, like, his friend, like, it was part of a skit. It was part, you know what I mean? Nobody was forced. It wasn't anything like that, which is why he kind of escaped it. But, like, I get how it's jarring to parents. But at the same time, I think that because the kids.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, Matt. The kids that are watching him, I mean, the parents of the kids that are watching him are our age. So they kind of grew up with a little, of the Beavis and Butthead generation, the Jackass generation, to where they're like, yeah, did he take an explosive diarrhea on his friend? Yeah. But like, was it, but
he did.
yeah, he did. But was it but it was part of a skit. It wasn't like he just did it while his friend was sleeping or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was all planned. It was all scripted. I mean, though it's gross. Yeah. But the guy that had it done to him,
Right.
he was down. It was part of what they were doing at the time, because at the time they were.
And he ended up making kids.
But yeah, and that's the thing, because at the time they were trying to become famous. You know what I mean? They were doing extreme stuff, which is what, going back to wrestling, which is why ECW was a thing, which is why Jackass was a thing. Which is why Real Housewives before the Kardashians was a thing.
ECW was the extreme version.
Yeah, because
of WWF.
and why they had dude, I mean, like, their ropes would be made out of barbed wire sometime,
right,
and it was
right.
just to get people to watch it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's just grown, and like, and it's I don't know, it's weird, because society and culture, I feel like, used to be a lot more separated, or maybe it wasn't, and I'm just dumb. But it seems like more now, society and culture are one and the same, especially if you are in the United States of America.
Maybe subculture.
Yeah. Okay, it's a better way to put it.
Yeah, culture is a sensitive word these days
Yeah, it's true.
because it seems.
Well, it depends on where you are, though.
It seems to be all encompassing.
Yeah.
All encompassing. So
Yeah.
definitely subculture. It's a mesh. It's a great huge mess and mesh that. Oh,
Let me ask you this. So I'll play interviewer now.
okay.
What is your culture?
My culture.
Mm-hmm. To you.
Interesting. I think I've created my own culture. I do respect coming from a Chamorro culture. I believe Catholicism was a culture. But doing this podcast, I'm starting to realize, there's a different kind of culture to explore, and there's many different kinds of cultures. And that's why I always bring up subcultures, is because when we don't know who we are exactly, we attach to these subcultures to identify with something. The human nature is to be a part of something. You put somebody alone inside a room by themselves for days on end, they'll drive themselves insane. You put two people in the room, they'll probably have sex with each other. Whether it's a guy, girl, guy, right? You put a bunch of people in a room, they'll be fine. Yeah, maybe they'll end up being annoyed with each other, but you cannot be alone. And it's like, for me, I feel like I've created this subculture for myself, not for the island of Guam. I'm not trying to fucking claim anything,
right?
But for myself, because of this podcast, I've created this sort of web or network of people that I associate this podcast with, such as yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way I've met you, and the only way that, besides outside conversations that we've had with each other, that we really sort of get to know each other in this respect, right? And so to say that there's only one culture here on this island is very ignorant to say, because we have many different kinds of people. And until you understand that, not you, but until anyone understands that we are a culmination of subcultures because of the time that we're in, then we're just going to be stuck in the past, and we'll never evolve as a society. So yeah, in a sense, society and culture are mixed, because the evolution of culture is also the evolution of society. But culture cannot evolve without the addition of subcultures.
Yeah, it's almost the chicken before the egg, right? Or which came first.
Right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say to you, because though I was raised in a Catholic culture, we were greatly the minority around, because it was more Southern Baptist, and I was raised more because my parents were so young when I came about, teenagers. So I was raised more in a social culture. I was raised more in not a religious culture. I was raised more in a sports culture, in a party culture, and
being around their friends.
Yeah, because they would throw parties at, they would throw parties at night. I mean, not to the, not to the expense of like neglect of me and my, but like on Sundays, on Sundays at 11, everybody came over, and they would start barbecuing early, and then we'd watch football from 11 a.m. until on TV until 7 p.m. Now, mind you, this is the early 90s, so the Dallas Cowboys, who everybody was a fan of, was, they were the best team, so it made it really easy, right. But I mean, that's just what I grew up with, that was my church. That, Sundays weren't for church. Sunday for me were watching watching football, or even in the summers they would all play in a softball league. So right. It was always it was like sports culture, or it was friends culture.
And that's the thing that people need to really understand.
Yeah,
is that
some people
culture just isn't one thing
and aren't anchored, and that's the thing. Right. Some people just aren't anchored. Just because people are like, oh, you're Catholic, I don't know anything about that. Well, F you. I don't know. I mean, and I am Catholic, so it's not like I was raised Catholic. It's not. I'm not talking about me, but it's like this is an example. Yeah. People are like, oh, like you saying anything about it other right. than you're on board.
Right.
just never mind. Bye.
Right. And if we're talking about the culture on Guam. And I was literally having this conversation with somebody because of that whole Twitter thing. Culture on Guam, there's different facets of
I don't even know how that happened.
Of what makes culture on Guam happen. Mm-hmm. And for me, we sit on pillars of what makes our culture, the Chamorro culture. So maybe, you can't relate to that, but it's like, from you being inserted into, that's the only way you can relate.
Right.
But me, I grew up into that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like knowing your family.
Oh, it's a world away. And I'll be the first to admit, even though I've been here for 10 years, right. It's a world away. There's still, even being here 10 years, I'm learning, I'm learning things about not just Chamorro Filipino culture, Chuukese culture, Palauan culture,
Right,
Japanese culture,
right,
Korean,
We're
Japanese.
We're a killer melting pot.
Yeah,
We've been a melting pot for centuries.
And I will tell you that, like Guam and, Guam, moving to Guam and being here 10 years, like, and then going back, like Guam, and I am greatly appreciated for this. I will always say this. Guam has made me so much better in the fact that I can go back to my hometown in Dallas, Texas. And it's hard for me to relate to those people just because I feel way more broad. And I've learned all of that from here.
Right.
It's Guam, and I've learned about Chamorro culture. I've learned about all these other cultures also while being here because Guam is such a melting pot.
Yeah, but I truly believe there's a misunderstanding that only language is what makes up culture.
Right.
But it's everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to funerals.
Yeah.
It's going to rosaries. It's helping out cooking. Right. It's helping to barbecue.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll be the first. I mean, I just had to go through
being there to clean up.
Yeah.
That's fucking culture.
Yeah. And the thing is I've been recently is a couple days ago. I was at a funeral, and I didn't pay my proper respects, because of because of personal issues. And I was looked down upon, for that. But I was there for a different reason. And I know it was wrong, but at the same time, it's also, it doesn't make it better, but at the same time, it's just not something that I'm also used to, you know what I mean? And so I struggle with it all the time. And I know I'm wrong, and I'll be the first to admit it, but at the same time, but what I'm saying is at the same time, I understand why, and I understand why I need to, you know what I mean? I get the reasoning behind things that I should do and I shouldn't do.
For sure.
And because, for more cultural reasons now, because the longer I am here, it's not, to me, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so I just learned, I've learned a lot over time.
Right.
Which is, by the way, that used to be Chiang Mai art. And they changed that out on me. That's really nice, though. Who did that?
Her name's Veronica Cruz. She owns Honey Studios, and I asked her to put a podcast themed thing, and that's a Gary V quote.
Yeah,
run the marathon, not the sprint, and
that's you.
I guess that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think culture is. No matter where you go, no matter whether you're an expat, whether you're an exchange student, whether you move somewhere to go to another place, whatever it is, most people, and most of the interesting people, you know what I mean, who do go and seek out growth. Whether they don't even have to leave, just go seek out, like growth and adventure. Like most people have to, at some point in their life, come and in contact with some of their cultural norms that aren't normal to them or whatever. And I think that as long as there's more understanding than negativity on it, I think it was just, I think it's good. But I think also like it's a learning process. I don't think that it's just something you just get.
Yeah, but it's also constantly evolving too.
Always.
And that's something we have to understand.
Yeah.
As people living here, because it's not always going to be the traditional culture as much as we want it to be. I feel like it's just something we're not in control of the way culture will. I should tread lightly, because people start being like, "What are you talking about? We're not in control of our culture."
Mm-hmm.
It's because the more people that come here and introduce different things that we didn't know about ourselves as humans, right? We begin to change, and the people will change. People will live here. I mean, like yourself. You uprooted yourself from somewhere, brought yourself here for the last 10 years. You've made an effect on the world around you here, right? So culture in that respect has changed for you, and it's changing for everybody. It's changed for me. Like I said, doing this podcast changed what culture is for me, because now I realize that there are different kinds of people who are making an impact in what they're doing here. Whatever they're doing, it doesn't matter. Big, small, you're doing it. You're not a lazy fuck.
Yeah.
You're not fucking
You're not living off the land, just collecting a check. You know what I mean? Like
And
doing nothing.
just doing
not
nothing.
Contributing nothing. Yeah.
right. So I don't know. And I feel like it'll always be up for debate of what culture really is.
And I agree with you. And I think that and that's the thing. I mean, and like we've said all night, you know, it's not just here. You know, like if you and I were just to uproot and move to Salt Lake City, Utah tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
who's to say that, you know,
He does that.
He does.
Hey, he's the unofficial fucking alarm clock. Like, hey, yo. We've been talking way too fucking long.
No, we haven't gone long enough. MattyB, keep it rolling. No, but what I'm saying is that like it's you know, I mean it's constantly changing, and I think that like though we see problems and cracks here,
Yeah.
people everywhere see problems and cracks everywhere, you know, and you can move here and there, you know, I mean like and it's the same, like we talked about Hawaii, you know, Hawaii is not this culture, you know, so if you and I were to go to Hawaii, you know, start doing this or something else,
Yeah.
who's to say we wouldn't just be run out of town just because, you know, people just don't like us or
Right.
just because we moved there new or whatever, you know, I mean, but at the same time, it could go the other way where people were accepted and we're successful and we live out to be millionaires and, you know, and our little venture worked or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, and one thing I always think about too is like how different culture is between Saipan and Guam.
yeah. And how they look at each other
Yeah.
based on some old stuff.
It's just the way it is though. dude.
Yeah, but and that's the thing, because sometimes, unfortunately, like you just said, that's just the way it is.
It is, bro.
You know what I mean? I mean that's just the way it, and you're not gonna change it. You know, and that's kind of how it is. Like that was my point with marijuana. Not to deviate to that, 'cause I
We
don't know
can,
culture,
yeah,
but I'm saying like that's how it is. Like, you know, to 70-year-olds and up, marijuana's bad. That's just the way it is.
All right.
There's no, you can't do, say, prove, nothing.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Oh, it's helping you?
Nope.
It's still bad.
Nope. Nope.
That shit's illegal.
And
bro.
that's everything. Like I said, you know what I mean? I mean, there's people all over the world. You know, there's, I don't know. You know, like there's North Korea and South Korea. Nope. Nope. Yeah, but y'all the same country. Nope. 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 That's the way it is. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's, you would think.
We have an interesting dynamic over in this part of the world.
Very much.
We really, really do.
Very much so. And you know what? I like it.
I do too.
I like it too.
I do too.
I mean, I like having to be plugged into a little bit of everything. Philippines, Japan. You know, see what's
Sometimes
going on.
this island feels a little small.
You think so?
It does.
Well, you got to get off more.
Yeah, I do.
And take me with you.
I do gotta. I actually leave tomorrow to Saipan. So
Oh, that's right. I saw. Yeah, you've been going to Saipan.
yeah,
How's have you been to Seoul?
I have.
How is
Yeah.
it? I want to go.
Yeah, I think we stayed in Hongdae.
Okay.
It's by Hongdae University, and it's the college district.
Yeah.
So they don't stop partying until like 6, 7 a.m.
Really?
So even when we were walking to the train station, me and my lady, we were walking with our luggages
To go home?
to go to the airport
Yeah.
from the train station. We were walking next to drunk people, extremely drunk people. Not even little bit, dude. Extreme, like screaming, and that's what I realized about the Korean culture when they're drunk. They like to yell, dude.
Yell.
They like to yell, dude. They
What?
like to, and it's not even like mad yelling. It's like excited, like yeah, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Like soccer fans.
It's just excitement.
You're like soccer
Just
fans.
happy. I think it's just happiness, right?
So Michael Jackson.
Oh man. Oh. I don't know if I can go into this. I don't want to.
MattyB.
We somehow avoided the.
You roll on this.
We somehow have walked away from the sexual abuse thing.
I'm upset.
Yeah. I
didn't turn a blind eye. I love the music, but man, I can't. I don't support it.
But we can't
Nothing.
assume it's all true.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, of course we can. But
I watched all the interviews.
But we have a guy who is being accused that can't defend himself, right? Okay, so That being said,
But I don't support him though. No more. I'm denouncing him, just like Oprah did. I'm denouncing him.
did you see? Oh, so you watched After Neverland too? Her interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I watched them. So what I watched was, in a weird way, just like our podcast episodes. I watched. If you've ever seen the 2003 Living with Michael Jackson,
No.
I watched that. You've never seen that?
No. And the thing that blows my mind.
That's the worst one.
The thing that blows my mind about the whole thing was that he was walking around with kids, like
always,
and everybody was okay with it. It didn't matter. No one even batted an eye.
Not Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald always.
Really?
Yeah, Norm Macdonald's. Yeah. You never saw that?
No.
Norm Macdonald on Weekend Update, he would always go after Michael Jackson. Always. He was like,
I mean, you can't
he literally said this.
You can't deny he didn't make good music.
Don't take this out of context, but I'm gonna repeat a Norm Macdonald joke. He said, "quote Michael Jackson's son. Michael Jackson just had a son. He's a chip off the old block too. His 3-day-old son just molested a 1-day-old son.
God,
yeah,
that's horrible.
That's terrible.
That's horrible.
But what I'm saying is, he was making those jokes in 92, 93. When people were like, "Oh, Michael's the best."
Yeah, when the first allegations were coming up.
Yeah. And then you saw R. Kelly's meltdown. It's all going bad.
Let's go. Let's get out of this.
Wow.
I just want to get out of this.
All of our heroes.
Talking about this. Yeah, I know.
All of our heroes they're all being.
But we already came to the conclusion that this is what that generation was, and generations before that.
You don't think it's just people? You don't think
it is people? It's in human nature. But you got to remember that society has a big effect on what nature on how to control the human nature.
You're right.
So I'm glad that people are coming out and talking about it because
me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with
the fact that everybody is being as vocal as they can, and that's what I'm saying. Is that it's just crazy that it's all being dismantled and rightfully so
within the same decade.
Not even that. And that's what I guess that to me, that's why I bring it up, because that's what fascinates me is how fast the House of Cards fell. I mean, from Weinstein to Michael Jackson to you know what I mean, to all
Spacey,
of them, Spacey to all of them. Yeah. I mean, and even if it's not real, you know what I mean, whatever, all of it. It's just crazy, and I guess. Regardless of the child molestation thing and the Catholic Church and all that, we can go back to the point to where things move. Like you said, things move. Prince,
damn it, Blake.
Prince was forgotten after 3 days because things move at such a rapid pace that's just how things happen.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone forgets that Archbishop's hiding in Italy right now, or Rome. No one knows where he's at.
Do you think LeBron?
Okay. I'm done with that.
You're the one.
I'm sorry.
Do you think LeBron?
You brought me there. Fuck.
Do you think LeBron regrets going to LA?
No, I don't think so. I think he's already created his legacy. I don't think that he's worried about not making the playoffs this year. I don't think so.
You don't think LeBron cares about making the playoffs this year?
No.
Why?
Well, he wants to win a championship, but I think he understands the reality of the situation he's in.
But he threw his whole team under the bus.
And what?
He's got to go face him this year. What do you think? You think he's going to get the brow?
No. Of course he's not.
So who's going to get?
Honestly, okay, so I follow the basketball hashtag on Instagram,
That's
social media, and
not today you didn't.
I get so caught up in all of it.
You know why? Because it was down. Thanks to Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for providing us a free service that you got us addicted to, that we all love, and then just taking it out from under us for 2 days.
Well, pretty soon we're going to have to start paying for it. So,
MattyB, you make sure we don't have to pay for Facebook.
Yeah. Let's start cutting out of here, dude. And I'm starving.
Are you starving?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm
I
hungry
didn't get to eat after.
Me neither.
After work.
I didn't eat before. Before I came.
How long have we been going here, Matt?
2 hours and 25 minutes.
Shit, Blake.
Now we got. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Last question.
One last question.
One last question topic. have you also and your thoughts on Survivor?
Nope, never watched Survivor.
Lost.
Nope, never.
Really?
Yeah, never.
So then we really have nowhere to go. All right, end this, MattyB.
Game of Thrones. Game of
Are you
Thrones
ready?
next month. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I've been catching up. So
What do you like? Who do you like? What
my
do you,
favorite character is Arya. Arya.
It's everybody's Arya. Everybody loves
and,
Arya.
And Tyrion. My favorite characters.
Well, he drinks and he knows things.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like my boy Jon Snow?
I do like Jon Snow, but he's an anti-fucker. So
Who's his auntie? Daenerys?
yeah,
That's his auntie?
Yep.
I thought they were brother sister.
no, his auntie.
That's
So-
his
So
Ned Stark's.
So
So his mother.
Rhaegar Targaryen
Of
and
course.
Lyanna Stark is Jon Snow's parents. Rhaegar and Daenerys are brothers and sisters.
And Rhaegar is the Mad
The
King.
son of the Mad King.
He's the son of the Mad King. Who's Rhaegar? Where do we see Rhaegar? We never did, right?
Season 6, I think. The young Rhaegar,
Oh, when he showed up with Ned, and they saved
I believe so.
the sister, right?
Right.
They both saved that.
kid.
That was it.
They didn't save the sister; they saved the
The
kid.
kid. What about the Night King? Because they got a dragon now.
I don't know. I don't want to give my speculation.
No.
but
I want you to give.
I keep hearing. I keep seeing theories on. the
Otherwise, we're
internet
going to talk about Odell Beckham going to Cleveland.
that
So
that the Night King is Brandon Stark.
you think it's Bran Stark?
No, I don't think, but that's just what I read on the internet.
What about Jaime Lannister? What's his fate?
He's probably gonna die.
They're all going to die.
Everyone's gonna.
No, they're all going to die. Just like
It's gonna be a whole big Harry Potter ending, right?
you want to hear a secret about me with Game of Thrones?
What?
I really like Cersei.
She's a bad person.
I know.
We're on that note. Matt, take us out. Take us out of here. Take us out of here. We didn't get to read the review. So before we get out of here, we want to give people the chance to hear the review because we didn't get to read it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we're doing this new thing. Every time someone leaves a review, we're gonna have Matt read it on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the review of this episode?
The review of the podcast on the Apple Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So-
Do you give their names?
We give their screen name whatever they gave.
Right.
So it's up to Matt how he's gonna do it. Matt, take it away.
So our latest review, February 25th, 2019, from
fairly recent.
SUS APA.
We would like to say Susapa.
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 Sasapa.
Susapa.
And it goes, Mariana's roots. Much love and respect to Master Random for sharing his talent and documenting important interviews for the Marianas. Master of Random integrates his passion, knowledge, and wide connections in his podcast. This podcast is a must for all who call the Marianas Sinamai Guam home.
That's it.
You picked a really good one.
Yeah.
Look, you can direct all hate mail to me. You're not going to get that good of a review. Matt.
5-star.
I've been lucky. I've been lucky so far. I've been lucky so far to get good
Matt,
reviews. Been lucky so
Matt,
far.
rest assured, you're going to get a bad review at some point.
Oh, no.
And when you do,
Hopefully.
on this one, you read
On this one.
Right.
For me. If it's on me, you read it. And you know what? It'll be because of me. It won't be because of him. It won't be
Right.
because of me.
Right.
So you read it.
We
Alright.
will.
You read it.
Bro,
Because I'm listening. So read it.
before we cut out of here,
What?
let's what do you want to put out there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nah.
You're good?
Yeah, I got nothing going on.
All right.
Um,
How do people listen to you? Come on, you're on the radio.
nah, they
People
don't.
listen
But
to
I'll
you.
tell you this. Just
How about your podcast?
I don't have no podcast.
Come on.
I just bought a mic. I didn't buy. I
Do
didn't buy-
one.
Get
Get to it already, bruh.
I've been eclipsed. You're so good. You're so good. No,
not
you're
at
right.
all,
You're right.
not
You're
at
right.
all. You
Here's
gotta
the
do
thing.
it.
You know
gotta
why?
do
You know
it.
why? Because my podcast studio / room smells like dog
That's okay.
terribly,
That's okay.
and or like incense.
That's fine.
But like the
The good thing about audio
but like the
is you can
Catholic incense.
smell.
Yeah, but Yeah, but I can't have like you have like economists on. Like, I wouldn't have legit people on, but people aren't just gonna come and sit in a room.
You never know. I never thought people would come sit in my living room.
Well, you have a nice living room. Yeah, you have a nice living room with a cool dog. You got MattyB over there. I just assume that's where he lives. It's right there in that chair, and that's his house. That whole setup. He doesn't ever go anywhere. You know, I know it's not true. I love you, MattyB. But yeah, I got nothing going on. Just be nice to each other, be kind, and don't rob anybody.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of It's I got. So yeah, I got. Had to fend it off. So yeah, don't rob anybody. And when people are just hanging out by the gas pump, just leave them alone.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, MattyB. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. Someone listens to the podcast too much. And now that he's done with that, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Blake, thank you for coming on the podcast, first of all.
I begged. I had to beg to get on here today.
No, not at all.
I love you.
Yeah, love you too, bro. And let's keep doing this. Let's continue.
What's Freddie at? What's Freddie at?
I think Freddie's at 6. Yeah,
this
4 or 5.
4.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to just propose this because I like to put you on the spot every time. My 10-year anniversary is May 22nd, 2019. It'd be an honor to spend 10 years and look back on 10 years of people and fun.
Let's do it.
And old school, like, not old school because I've only been here 10 years, but places that I used to frequent because I have tons of stories about them that don't exist anymore.
Right, like 1021.
Or like Hooters. Or Six Deuce.
Right. Casa. Right.
Ralphie's.
Okay, let's get out of here. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Let's go. Let's go eat steak.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast. Blake Watson on the podcast. MattyB, of course, he loves you. Say love you, MattyB. Go ahead.
Love you guys.
Ooh.
Love you, MattyB.
With that little lovely voice of his.
Yo.
And, of course, I love you. Peace out. Until next time, Master Random. Ooh, we're out of here. Peace. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. My friend Blake Watson, crazy man. I'd like to give a special shout out to our sponsors at his Mortuary. They're big enough to serve, small enough to care. If you need services or plan information, contact them at 477-1311 to Stroh Guam. Use the code word random19 and get $10 off your next ride. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. This is a good time to become part of the podcast. Your support would help us improve different things on the podcast. And thank you so much if you're already supporting. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, give the podcast a rating. That'll be dope. Thanks again for being the baddest.